just like it's ridiculous how we're going to review today the brand new episodes for not just Daredevil but Invincible. We got blessed. We've really okay. We're gonna get to Daredevil and my gripes with that in just a second. I told you a little bit, but now that I've had a night to stew over this, I have more concise thoughts. But honestly, we are, as the kids say, eating well as far as entertainment because I haven't seen anything actively bad so far this year. I don't know about you, PB. Like, I don't know if, I did see Scream 7. That was fucking atrocious. But
say.
as far as shows, I can't really think of a show I've sat down and watched that's disappointed me. It's maybe not been as good as I expected or whatever else, but I haven't had very many things that have been actively disappointing. Or as far as movies, super bad. Even The Strangers, the last chapter, which I saw, was okay. So I forgot to tell you this because I don't know if you saw my Strangers review. It was one of those movies that was so unbelievably fucking bad that I actually wound up enjoying it.
I mean, that's not necessarily a bad thing.
No, it was one of those situations where I was like, I'll tell you what. The Strangers Chapter 3 to me, and this is going to sound crazy for anyone who hears this statement, but just hear me out, was better than Scream 7 for me. And I'll tell you why, because when I went into Strangers Chapter 3, I knew it was going to be a pile of shit. Scream 7, I was expecting to at least be good, and it totally shit the bed. So I think that the only disappointing thing, and probably the worst thing I've seen this year, has been Scream 7. But as far as shows, when I put out my critiques today, I want people to know because they get spirited by these, and it's fucking crazy. You want to hear IGN's before we even talk about Invincible? Guess what IGN gave this episode? If you had to take a fucking wild guess.
For which show?
Invincible, the newest episode. Because I looked.
I mean, if I know IGN, they must have gave it a 10.
Invincible?
Yeah. Did they hate Invincible?
They hate certain parts. Even the last, it's one of those shows where they just acknowledge it because of a popular opinion, but they don't like some of the messaging because it's not the messaging that they like to push. But anyways, no, they have been up and down with their reviews of this, but take a guess what this new episode netted. It is definitely not a 10 or anywhere near there. You got to go a bit lower.
Well, then I would say 5.
Closer, one up.
Oh. 7.
6.
You don't say. 6 goes after 5.
It was hilarious how you went 7, 5, 6. Yeah, so this new episode of Invincible gave me 6. What a bunch of fucking clowns. Like, you guys will hear my thoughts on Daredevil, and I wouldn't even have gone a 6 for this episode. You'll hear when we talk about it later, or pretty soon. But that is fucking insane. Like, how IGN has the privilege to still get access and do early reviews, it pisses me off because we could do that, and I bet you we would do a better job. And yet IGN is the one that gets fucking access.
Pretty much anybody could do a better job than IGN.
Dude, it is insane. It is insane.
Which is sad because they used to be so good.
Okay, so for anybody who doesn't know, because IGN has become a meme these days, back in the day, you would go to IGN, read the book. They had a book back in the day, right? Was that GameStop or a
book?
The other one. You could get, like, they wrote opinion pieces and shit like that. Like, IGN was a publication before they switched things to online, and half of the time the staff was pretty good. Now, sometimes they fucked it up, like with the Alien Isolation review. That was a big blunder. But, like, for the most part, IGN had very good takes. They assigned people who played that genre of game to play the game that they were reviewing. And they just talk about the game or the show or the movie or whatever they were reviewing. And now it's become like a big fucking clown show over there. I don't know. I just don't fucking know. But anyways,
It's been a clown show ever since they put the dragons on the wall.
Oh my god, that's when I realized how far IGN had fallen.
There was only one dragon left. Change the name. I didn't give a shit.
Dude, remember that used to piss? Oh man, that pissed me off so bad. I'm like, it's not dragons. They have
Not
one.
to mention,
it's a dragon.
During that show, I don't ever recall a moment where there's multiple dragons on any wall.
I don't recall a moment where what they said in their critique made any fucking sense, but we got deterred. So let's start off.
They had one little moment. They always had one little moment in their reviews where you're like, okay, I can get on board with this. When they said Game of Thrones has released a new episode.
That was the only one. So let's talk about this Daredevil season 2, episode 1, called The Northern Star. And before I'm going to give a brief description.
It's very difficult for British actors to say Northern with an American accent. That's what I learned.
I'm going to give a vague description, and then I want you to say your piece first, because mine's going to be a little bit harsher. So the description of the episode is Matt Murdock is now a full-fledged vigilante. He sinks a ship. Most of this episode involves him trying to get
I have a gripe with, is that, are you reading a summary?
No. I'm just giving the synopsis. Just
okay, well, he didn't sink the ship.
Okay, just hold on. Before we go into it, let me read the synopsis. So basically, the gist of the episode is he capsizes. We'll say capsize because that's more of what I was thinking too. I agree with you, but just hold that thought. He capsized this boat. He is in a race to try to A, get the weapons, B, get the witnesses to tie Kingpin to this. Meanwhile, the B plot is that stupid bitch that I don't like, Heather, or whoever the fuck, is suffering trauma from Muse, which was a big fucking waste of time. I don't know why they have him in it. And probably the best part is they introduce a new character played by our boy.
Matthew Lillard.
Yes, thank you. Matthew Lillard. I've been drinking a little bit.
I had to think for a moment. I was like, new character. Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Matthew. They introduced Matthew Lillard. I think he's very interesting. And then something happens at the end we'll talk about, which might shift things. So with that vague description, I said this to PB before, but let you give your opinion. That's right. You give your thoughts first, and I'll kind of piggyback because I feel like you're going to have more positive things to say than I will.
I mean, I don't know if I have a whole lot of positive things to say. Like, I thought it was a good episode. I
think you're more.
I was entertained.
I think you're more balanced or more optimistic than I am.
We're gonna go in. We're gonna go into my biggest gripe first. Okay, my biggest gripe is the opening scene with the sinking of the ship. One, he didn't sink the ship, as in Daredevil did not sink the ship. The captain and the first mate scuttled the ship. Sank it, whatever you want to call it, on purpose because Daredevil was on board, and that's what they were told to do. I'm still bitching about this. You're watching the scene,
I want to add to that while you bring that just at one point. I can 100% agree with that, and you know how I normally get on you about nitpicking? As somebody who was a sailor, who was in the Navy, I 100% agree with you. That pissed me off because I said they didn't sink the ship; they scuttled it. They're two very, very different things. If you've ever been aboard a ship, there is a huge, huge fucking gulf between scuttling a ship and full-on sinking the ship, and they even fucking show it at that point in the episode.
Problem number one. Daredevil is trapped inside of the ship, and there's water rushing out or rushing in, however you want to say it.
Rushing in.
So you get the feeling it's like, well, it's obviously they're not killing Daredevil off in the first episode, so he's gonna survive. But like, how are we gonna do this? We do it off camera. I was like, okay, whatever. So you're supposed to have that little bit of suspense. What pissed me off is that from the time that you see the ship starting to sink in the river to when the water is rushing in at him, and then how much the ship continues to sink when he gets to shore, why was the water rushing in at all at that point? Like, the ship is actively sinking, and then you see it in the background, and it's not sinking anymore. And then I was like, what the fuck is going on with this ship? Like, no. I don't know what they did to sink it. Like, if there was an explosion at the back and there's just water rushing in, or what the freaking problem is.
I can tell you.
The front of the ship doesn't go in the water. Is it on top of a giant rock in the river?
I can tell you. So the harbor where they scuttled it, this was actually...
It's not in the harbor yet. It's in the middle of the river.
No, but the river that they're in the middle of, I know that river.
Yes,
and
the East
how
River.
Big that carrier is. That part was accurate. That's not what pissed me off.
Why is the ship sitting at a 45-degree angle?
It would go at a 45-degree angle because...
No, I get that the water. I get that the water comes in at the back of the ship. It comes in at the back, and as it fills the ship, it's going to sink the bottom end first, and then it's going to sink the top end. But it stays like this, so it's either packed full of foam at the front, so it doesn't completely sink, or it's sitting on a rock that it wasn't going to get over in the first place.
No. What happened was the weight, and like you said, you're dead on because I know that harbor. There's fucking rocks and shit where they were. They were almost in the port. So it wouldn't.
You see how the ship is sitting, right?
Yeah. So it would do that because it wouldn't exactly go all the way in. It'd half-ass be up. That's not my issue. My issue is
none of this first scene is realistic. None of it.
Let's just say the first scene is a problem to begin with. We're nitpicking different things. I didn't have so much trouble with that. My issue was exactly the opposite, the Daredevil thing, because I know how this works. If the water is rushing in, Daredevil would have been pulled to the bottom and it be like a suction, because I've seen this shit, especially with like subs or a ship sinks. The biggest thing, and when you are in that situation, why they tell you to get to the highest compartment that you can get to, is because the water becomes like a suction. Okay. So at that moment, Daredevil would have been dragged down with the fucking front of the ship. He would be like underneath the fucking dirt, whatever was there, because the suction is so powerful. That's why when people are abandoning ship, you have to swim away from the ship, because the suction of the ship going down will suck in anything that's around it. So my issue was the Daredevil of it. Even though I know they can't kill him off, that's why they cut the camera, because realistically, that shit would be like a
totally awful,
and it would suck everything and everyone in the vicinity straight fucking down, and he would suffocate and drown. That was
going to pull you all the way down, and you're not going to have enough breath to get back to the top by the time it stops sinking. Not to mention the fact that the ship is still slightly sinking when he shows up on shore.
So you see what I'm saying? When I called you and I even said, I don't think the episode is bad per se.
That scene is bad.
It's certain things in this episode, and as we keep going, I'm probably going to nitpick. And it's because I like the show. And it baffles me, and I said this to you. It's not like I liked the opener for the first season. And people are like, well, does that mean you want them to kill someone off? No. What I'm saying is everything felt grounded, right? The opening was badass. It felt like I was back in the Netflix world. Daredevil took damage. People were getting fucked up. Like, this opening felt very Marvel to me, like just totally unrealistic for the realistic world. And when you watch the interview, right, they're trying to make this grounded. So if you're making the show grounded, I felt like in this episode, and I hope they fix it as we go through the episodes, it felt very much like they're trying to have their cake and eat it too. They want the cool, like, ship going and big action scene or whatever, but they also want the grounded, gritty, realistic Netflix flair. And I don't know if these two tones can exist in the same space because they're two very different. Like I've been telling you for years, man, watch the original run, right? The Netflix run, it's canon. Confirmed.
I know.
The original Netflix run felt distinctly different. Like our favorite show, Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. It felt different yet connected. And you can do that. But I feel like they're trying to do this weird thing where they want to do the crazy Marvel shit, but they want to keep it realistic too. And I don't think the tones mesh very well. And I haven't seen the rest of the series. I don't know if it's going to work itself out. That's what I'm kind of hoping for. But this episode, especially the opener, to me was fucking horrible. And I was like, whoa.
I think horrible's a bit of an exaggeration there, guy.
I'm saying not horrible if we were comparing this to other shows. Great opener. I'm saying if we're comparing it 1-to-1 to previous Daredevils, okay? And I know you can't draw
can
from
only
the
compare
Netflix show, but I'm just saying, so if I'm comparing this just to Daredevil, the show, and every opener that they've had, this to me is the worst opener.
Okay, I don't know what the openers were when it was on Netflix, but I can compare it to last season. And what it seems like they're doing, at least to me, is that the opening episode, yeah, it's going to have some action in it. It's going to have some intrigue, like, oh, what's going on with this character? But what they really are doing is taking a moment. In season 1, it was Foggy getting shot, which happens right at the beginning. And in season 2, it's scuttling this ship, happens right in the beginning. And the whole season is going to revolve around that. Like you have this sunken ship, and it's connected to this person over here, and this person over here, and this person over here. And then these people are interconnected, and these people are interconnected. You know what I mean?
And I 100% agree with you after watching that interview, but it feels like, too, they're doing mini arcs in an 8-episode show. And I also, too, have a problem with this. I don't know about you. I really feel like they should be doing 13 episodes with the way they're talking, because he even says in this that he's breaking it into arcs like they did last season was Daredevil coming back and Wilson Fisk coming back, and then Muse, and then the final. And they're kind of doing that. The issue that I have is I'm fine with breaking it into like 3 separate arcs, but I don't feel like they have enough episodes to fully flesh out everything. You're working with 8. So what you do 2, or I don't know how that breaks down. One would have to be 3 arc. One would have to be 2 and 2, right? Because it'd be
3, 4,
5, 6, 7, 8. Yeah. So it'd have to be
3 is 7.
So one arc would be...
what arcs do you think that they're doing? Because I don't see it in the same way that you, like when you watch Andor, it's like, yep, these 3 episodes are a story, these 3 episodes are a story, these 3 episodes are a story.
I think one arc is going to be the ship. I think one arc is going to be with Jessica Jones.
I don't know. I think everything in the season is going to revolve around what is going on with the ship. One, like, who's paying the captain? Obviously, it's Kingpin, but not everybody knows that. Where are the weapons coming from? Where are the weapons going to? And then we get a clue as to where the weapons are going to when Mr. Charles gets a phone call, which most definitely seems like it's from Allegra DeFontaine. Sorry, DeFontaine.
All right. Also, too, we have the most...
That's exactly what I wanted in the show. I was like, just give me this little snippet so I know that it's connected to the MCU, and I feel like they did it perfectly in this episode.
Also, too, I heard rumors. I don't know if this is true, but we'll just throw some rumors in here. I did hear rumors, unconfirmed. They're being very close knit, but they did say there may be some implications to the Punisher show and Spider-Man Brand New Day. So,
Punisher show, you talking about this 1 hour special?
Yeah, the special. This is gonna flow right into that special somehow.
That's good.
Which is good. That's good because
I don't understand why they're doing like we made a short movie of the Punisher. Okay.
I don't know why the Punisher doesn't get his own show. Like John Berthal proved he could carry a show twice.
I mean, somebody made a post and they're like, okay, Loki, Daredevil, and Wonder Man are the only MCU shows outside of Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., obviously, that have gotten more than one season on Disney Plus. Everything's only at one season. And I was like, well, a lot of the stuff only needed one season. Like WandaVision only needed one season because then it went right into Multiverse of Madness, and now it's going to connect to Doomsday.
Well, what was it? What If had more than one season? It was a good pass.
I mean,
too,
it's connected, but is it really connected? Because they're not really using any of the characters from the MCU.
No, those were like the show side what if scenarios, but it did
lead
into Marvel's.
I don't even remember. Is there a movie that the Watcher shows up in? I don't remember.
There is a movie that Carter shows up in. Agent Carter, Captain America Carter, the variant. There is a movie, Multiverse of Madness.
Oh yeah, well she's in Multiverse.
3 of the characters from What If showed up in that movie. So
okay, like you say that, but if there's one reality with Captain Carter, there's obviously another one. How are we supposed to know that that is the same one? I'd have to go back and rewatch What If.
I'd have to go back and rewatch it, but I believe there was a comment or something because even the creators said that the What If Carter was connected to the Multiverse of Madness. That was the dimension. They were.
Right, but I don't think that anything that happens in What If is going to affect what's happening in any of the movies or TV shows.
No, because
whereas I believe heavily that what happens in Daredevil is going to be directly connected to what we see happening in Spider-Man Brand New Day, because in the trailer you see him get a key to the city from what you would presume is the mayor, and it ain't Wilson Fisk.
So, yeah, that's what I'm saying. And even the show's creators said they're in a separate pocket, but they still do affect certain things in the Marvel universe, just not on a grand scale. And that's actually great that you pointed that out because, yeah, I noticed that too. I'm like, wait a second. That has to mean that in this season they are going to address stuff in the movie, which I got to be honest with you. One of my big strengths for this show that I want to point out is I do like the fact that we can have these shows that are connected, but they're not dependent on what's going on in the movies.
Agreed.
That's what
the way I like it.
Right? You've said that too. We don't need it.
Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. did it. I do remember explicitly, the one that sticks in my mind the most is you cannot watch more episodes in the whatever season it was when Winter Soldier came out. Like if you watch episodes past when Winter Soldier released, like that weekend, because I want to say episodes were every Tuesday. Yep. So you have the whole weekend, and then you have the next episode of Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. You would 100% be spoiled about stuff that happens in the movie if you watch an episode that happened after it. Hello, Carmen.
Hola.
Whole Carmen.
She said, "Whole bear." Yeah, and I agree. I like them leading into a movie without necessarily spoiling the movie, because I'm sure if they're making the show, they've got to have some kind. It sounds like they're working now more closely with the movies and whatnot, so they've got to have a knowledge of what's going on.
The real question is, because I watched the one interview, and one of the guys who was on it was the showrunner, like the producer of it, not the writer, not the director, but the guy who's like, we're going to do that. He seems to know what he's doing.
And this is the thing where
all he has to do, like you have him, and then you also have who's ever in charge of the movies, which I believe is Kevin. So those two just have to have like a conversation every so often. Like there's not a set amount of time, but you got to be like, okay, where are you going to be at in your story? Because our story is going to connect and then, what do I want to say, differ, and then it's going to come back together, and then it's going to differ. Like, I still don't think that we're going to see Daredevil in the Spider-Man movie.
No, I mean, and I'm fine with that. And a lot of people are like, "Oh, maybe we'll see Tom Holland." Like, look, this is like a Batman Penguin thing. I don't need the actual character. Just like a mention of like, hey, this person got webbed up, whatever, you know what I mean? Like you don't necessarily need the main person from the movie. Just knowing that they're there, or maybe doing a far off shot and you see someone like web slinging, you know what I mean? Or maybe Nick Cage, you see Nick Cage swinging around there. Oh, he's not. That's a 30 Spider-Man.
I think talking about Daredevil, I think there's a higher likelihood that Spider-Man is going to be in the Punisher special than Daredevil is going to be in the Spider-Man movie.
Because if you've seen the trailer
for Punisher,
or no, Daredevil
or Spider-Man? I mean, yeah, I watched it.
Okay, so he's chasing Frank to try to stop him because Frank's chasing someone. So I'm thinking that Punisher one-off special is going to have something leading into Brand New Day more than Daredevil is going to have something leading into it. You know what I mean?
So odds are Spider-Man isn't going to be in the Daredevil special, but I agree with you. I'm quite certain that the story of Punisher in the special is going to lead right into the start of Spider-Man.
Yeah, 100%. And Carmen says, "Hey, Bear, I missed your beard."
I know. Isn't it fantastic?
But yeah, so getting back to Daredevil, so we like Matthew Lillard. I gotta say, and I'm just gonna say this. And once again, a lot of nitpicks.
Who was the director that was talking smack about Matthew Lillard?
I think it was
Guillermo del Toro, or was it the other Mexican guy?
It was the other Mexican guy.
Who's the one? Why can't I think of his name then? Isn't he the one that did Kill Bill?
Oh, you mean Quentin Tarantino? Yeah.
Yes.
I don't
know. Whoever said that Matthew Lillard is not a good actor doesn't know what acting is.
I love Quentin Tarantino. One of my favorite. You guys know. I'm a big Quentin Tarantino whore. I will say, that was one point I strongly disagree with. Matthew Lillard is great. I think because Quentin's recalling the time when he was early in his career. And yeah, Matthew Lillard had a very one-note kind of persona. But I think over the years, especially recently,
I feel like unless you think that is what they are like in real life, like how they live their life, how would you not know they were acting? Like, I didn't suspect that Matthew Lillard was a psychopath going around murdering people with a giant smile on his face. So then when I see him do that in a movie, it's like, I believe that you're crazy. So you must be acting like a motherfucker.
I gotta say though,
he does an excellent job in this show.
Oh yeah. Every scene. So positive. Let me just do my first positive because I got a lot more negatives. Matthew Lillard, to me, as soon as he enters, even that one phone call, steals this show for me. And to your acting point, he creates such like this air of mystery. Who is he? What's the thing? Did you notice he shorted out his cell phone? Like, so he's got some kind of powers we don't know about.
He's pretty sure that was just. I don't think he ain't got no powers, guy.
Yeah, it does, and it was even confirmed. They showed it. Did you?
Then why would he have to put it into a liquid? He would just short the cell phone out.
No. There was an electrical crackle, and then he put it in the thing. He's got some kind of static electricity thing.
Okay.
Rewatch it again because
the phone to the internet for this question.
Yeah, his powers revolve around static electricity because I looked it up because I was like, oh. I'm not married yet. Next year. Our wedding's going to be next year. Confirmed. We got the place picked out. We just need a date. We're waiting for Mama Zod because she is paying for the venue.
Okay, but the AI says Based on reports regarding Daredevil Born Again Season 2, Matthew Lillard does not have traditional superhuman powers.
Not traditional. I'm saying he does have powers, though. And it involves the static electricity. It was even said in the thing.
They say not traditional because he doesn't have superhuman powers.
Yeah.
But he does have the same type of powers that Allegra de Fontaine does, as in his power is power. I don't think he's got superpowers, guy. Where did you read this?
I will pull it up. And I told you, don't trust AI for the fucking 1,000th time. We watched Terminator, PB.
I did, but the AI doesn't want to lie to us yet.
Okay. All right. You know what? You're good. You said you would take the fall. And
go to your favorite screen rant, see what they have to say. Blah, blah, blah. Well, I seen Vincent D'Onofrio in that podcast interview or whatever you want to call it, where they're talking about the show. Is he wearing a fucking bodysuit during the show or something like that to make him look bigger? Because he's looking skinny as hell. Like he took all of the Ozempic
a while ago.
I don't care how long ago he shot it. He must have took fucking every dose of Ozempic that they make to get that fucking skinny. You see how skinny he was sitting in that chair? He looked like he was the same size as Charlie Cox.
Like, you have to remember that actors jump and go through weight all the time, and Daredevil Born Again was shot immediately after the first season. So,
dude, Screen Rant is doing the same thing that you tried to say. Daredevil Born Again brings Mr. Charles into the picture after Daredevil makes the Northern Star sink. Daredevil did not sink the ship in any fashion.
He did not.
He didn't set anything up. All he did was show up on the ship and start beating people up. And then the ship's captain scuttled the ship. For the love of God, people. This is ridiculous. How can you watch that episode and in any way be like, oh, Daredevil sank the ship?
I can't believe it. This is the first time on a logistical standpoint that both me and you are in complete agreement, and this really pisses us off, and I finally get it.
Well, okay, so if I'm reading the review, right, to see if it's going to be worth my time, and you hear, oh, Daredevil sank a ship. That sounds really cool, doesn't it? Sounds super cool. It's not. Because he didn't sink the ship. He beat the hell out of some guys on the ship.
Yeah.
I don't even know if they explicitly show. They just show the captain hitting the lever to turn the freaking I don't know if he put the engines in reverse or if he just shut them down or what the hell was going on. But then, I don't know, he must have hit a button and some explosion went off the back and down she went. How does that equate to Daredevil sinking a ship? It doesn't.
It doesn't. It really...
Do better, Screen Rant. You're not going to. You're not even going to attempt to. But I'm going to tell you to anyways. I don't think that you're going to find what you're looking for.
Oh, I'll find it. The squirrels never lie. Or the raccoons.
The squirrels and the raccoons never lie.
They don't. They're everywhere.
Sure. I think you misinterpret some of the things that they say. But you know what you don't misinterpret?
What don't I misinterpret?
That if you put in code ZONE15 at moviepalette.com, you can save 15% on your favorite movie palette and help support your favorite YouTube villain.
Exactly. And I do have all of the links in the description at the bottom. So I have
the
website and the promo code.
You got links in the description, like real links?
Yep.
Now I got to go to the YouTube and I got to look at the info and see what the links are.
Yep. I got the link, www.moviepalette.com, and the promo code. You could just copy paste Zone 15 right into the thing, and bada bing, bada boom, you're good to go.
Special thanks to our sponsor, moviepalette.com.
Yeah. Promo code I figured I'd throw that in because
any movie palette and support the channel. It looks like there's two spaces between support and the.
Yeah, so okay. I still think because I saw a little electrical current. I think he has some kind of static electricity going on. We'll see if I'm right.
No, we're going to see that you're wrong, is what we're going to see.
No, I think I'm right. Anyways, so we agree. Matthew Lillard, great part of the show. Another thing that pisses me off.
I feel like he stole every scene that he was in.
Nitpicking. I hate, and I can't stress this enough. I hate, and I said this in the first season, the BB report. It is so fucking useless. It serves nothing. Like, it was fine in the first season because it tracked them going from people.
The whole point is in this season, it's supposed to be doing the opposite. In the first season,
I get what you're saying.
These are what people really think. And now we've went to the other side of the coin. It's meant to be propaganda, which is probably why you find it annoying.
No, I find it annoying because I didn't really like it in the first season either. Like, I get the gist of it. I think it doesn't add anything. Okay.
I don't think that it's meant to feel like it's adding to the story at this point. I think you're going to have to wait, because when you get to the later part in the episode, when it's like the underground thing where it's that
I'll say I like that better.
That doesn't hit as hard if you don't have the setup of her doing propaganda before that.
Okay, I get what you're saying. I get the dichotomy or whatever and the switching back and forth. I get it. But what I'm saying is those segments to me just feel like a waste of time.
I could agree that we could use less of them. But I don't know that you want to turn it down to zero, because
I'm not saying zero.
Something's going to happen between her and the.
I'm saying what would have worked better, like one in the beginning, show that the other version, and then that's it, right? You have like the opener is fine, and then I have the opener of the street thing, because it does kind of feel like its own like way that they introduced.
I feel like that is,
but almost three segments, because you had one in the beginning, one in the middle, one at the end.
It would work.
It's way too much.
I would agree with that. I feel like they could get away with, like, do the opening scene with the scuttling of the ship, and then right after that, you go into like her giving the propaganda, and then you're sitting there, the viewer, thinking. Didn't we just see an entire ship just sink in the fucking river, and they're telling us that everything is good?
And then you go through the episode.
Right, then you go through the episode as normal. I don't need the extra, but I feel like we do need something, because it's going to manifest itself into something more important later in the season.
I see, this is where I'm feeling weird, because I was super hyper optimistic about this. And you seem more optimistic in this first episode, and I don't know why. Maybe you have a good insight that I don't. I'm feeling not as optimistic, and I'm feeling like this was a really rough start for me. And I don't know exactly what it is.
I mean, I was pissed off right at the start with the whole scuttling of the ship and how that scene played out. Like, I was pissed, and I was like, oh my God, is the whole season going to be stuff where it's like, just accept that this is happening? And it was
maybe that is what it is, because I've never felt like you felt with something technical. I'm more forgiving normally than you are with that stuff.
Agreed.
See our Mandalorian review. I didn't give a shit about Thor. That was a whole big thing, and we talked about it. I got what you're saying, but I could never get there because the scene was so cool. In this one, the fight scene for me was so I think I'm more drawn to the flaw of the whole entire scene.
The fight scene on the ship?
Yeah, I thought it was just meh.
Yeah, the fight scene on the ship was not as good as the fight scene later in the show.
Yeah, and so when you kind of start off with a fight scene that's kind of okay, and then you have this ridiculous thing that, as a person who served on ships, I think that's the other thing too. You did electrical work, so you know how doors should operate. So that would, of course, like bother the shit out of me.
Well, it's not necessarily doors, but electrical components. Like,
yeah, like
when they fail open, so you don't get electrocuted to death.
So that's a big thing for you because you worked in the field. For me, I've been on ships and I know how they sink, how they operate, the procedures and stuff. So when I saw that, and I'm so glad we're talking about it, and I'm glad that we didn't talk about this last night, because I'm happy to see that I'm not crazy, like you picked up on it, and I was so glad that was the first thing you brought up, because I was gonna fucking bring that up too as my big thing. And the more I thought about it, I think it was that opening, because I've done it, so now I'm like, I get why this is annoying to TV.
I imagine. So you get the opening, and then you get the propaganda right after that or whatever. And so now you've had 2 scenes in a row where you're like, fuck, man. Things are not going well. Season 1 was great. What the hell is this shit?
Yeah, okay. You nailed for me what my problem was in this first episode. For most people, they're not going to be like us or like me, right? So you might
Ain't nobody like you.
They're going to be swept up in all of it. But when I get 2 back-to-back things, like I can ignore one and then like I get another one scattered in. I'm like, okay. And we point it out or whatever. But it was like back-to-back. I got hit with these 2 things that just bugged the shit out of me. And the best way I could describe it is it took me out. Remember, I was telling you last night, I felt bored. Like, I didn't get my interest picked back up until we got to the prison scene with our favorite character, the duelist, the swordsman, or whatever the fuck they call him. Jack's my favorite. He's up there with Trevor on characters in the MCU that were introduced that I love. Like, they're like neck and neck on which day I'd pick one or the other, because both the actors
definitely
need
need more screen time.
I would actually love to see Jack and Trevor in a fucking show with Wonder. Oh my God, make it happen, Marvel. Anyways, get all the fucking cool side characters together and give them a show. But anyways, so we get back to Jack, and I'm back in it. My other huge issue, really big issue that I had was, and I don't know how people are going to feel about this, and I'm going to take a kind of weird stance in this era, and I don't know how this is going to go down on the YouTubes, but I'm just going to say it. I think it's shitty what they're choosing to do with the cops. Like, look, I understand police officers have gotten a bad rap these last couple of years. There's been some incidents, but I have family members. My grandfather was a detective for the New York Police Department for many years. And the shit he said before he passed, and the things he went through, and the things that my mom told me that he said, and just the stuff. I really hate this angle with the police. I'm not gonna lie. I think it's too much. I think it's the politics that is in this show. It's not. Thank God they're not bringing up, like, of course, the shit with the government or whatever. That's whatever. It fits Kingpin, so I'm not really going to critique that, but I don't like this shit with the police. I'm just going to be honest. And like, look, I want you guys to get an understanding about my background before I say this, so you can get an idea. I lived in New York in the 90s, okay? I'm not sitting here saying the police are like these great bastions. Like, I watched my friend who was black walk down the street, college student. He went to law school, works for a firm right now. Great guy. I saw harassment, okay? I get it. But I think what people are bringing up now is a couple of years ago argument, and that it is hurting the apparatus that we have that's designed to protect people. I think it's kind of shitty, and it really bugs me, the storyline with the cops, and it just, the way they overly cartoonishly make them villains. Like, if I was a cop watching this, I would be fucking offended, and I think it's kind of disrespectful and really disgusting. It really turns me off every time we go back to the police officers, and like, look, I get it. I get your complaints, but like, look at videos. Like, I've seen videos that Bitchy put up. Like, do you see what cops deal with? Like, we aren't getting that other side. Okay, go on YouTube to these arrest videos, these body cam videos, and see what fucking people do. Like,
Dude,
this bullshit.
Did you see the body cam video of Alan Richardson beating up his neighbor?
Dude, great. We've got a lot to talk about.
Because obviously,
late night talks.
I seen the first one from the window or whatever, and you catch it. But then they release his personal footage, and I was like, "What? This neighbor is a moron,
dude." And to him,
right? It's not like you're stopping freaking Tom Cruise in the street. Tom Cruise, tiny little guy. I seen Tom Cruise on Family Guy. He's about 2'11".
But no, my point is,
okay.
I don't know about you.
I disagree with you in the sense that it doesn't irk me because I'm looking at it in like two different spotlights. Like you have the spotlight that was over the police, like we seen the regular police, let's call them, like just, the regular NYPD were the people that were essentially working for the commissioner, and then he killed the commissioner by crushing his face, right? And these are meant to be like Fisks. I don't know how you're supposed to possessive plural is confusing. Anyway, that's not the point. Fucking English. It's his like Gestapo. So it's like the over and above.
It's still in a very underlining kind of.
It's not all the cops.
It still feels like that they're like they do have that shot of the other police officers in the bar with Daredevil, but we don't really see them doing anything. And it kind of just makes it feel like they're focusing on the aspects of the
they
corruption and shit rather than.
They definitely have made the spotlight over the Gestapo or the what is it? AVTF?
AVT
Task Force, isn't that two words?
Yeah.
Right. So the spotlight over them is huge, whereas there you don't see the other cop. Like you said, you see him sitting in the bar there, but that's it. You don't see the regular cops doing anything in this episode.
And so you see what I'm saying? And like I'm saying, I can only
we have to see them do something so we can see. Like even if we just see like freaking like somebody pull over on the side of the road getting a speeding ticket or whatever, like something that is a procedural thing that you see all the time in regular life. I just need to be able to see that so you can differentiate. Because if you didn't watch season 1 and you just started now, which is weird, but I'm sure somebody did, they'd be like, why are all of the cops corrupt?
And that's my thing is that, and here's the thing, like I said, I might be just nitpicking. My heart has been broken by things that I look forward to. So I'm super fucking guarded. So I could these things could all be worked out. But like I was saying, I also, and this is not having anything to do with the show itself that I'm going to bring up. This is just a personal release thing. I really think it was
whoa. You got to do that on a different website.
I think it was a mistake doing episodes 2 and 3 as a double instead of doing 1 and 2. I have no fucking idea why they did that. Even Invincible did 3 episodes. We'll get to that. But I really think this would have benefited with me being able to see the next episode so I can kind of put it together in my mind, because this just feels
the way that Invincible did it seems like it's very much like the Prime way of doing it, because The Boys does the same thing, Gen V does the same thing. Like I don't know how many other shows that I've watched on Prime where they give you the first 3 episodes.
And Disney does a fucking weird thing, and they said, "Oh, we're releasing 2 and 3 so that way we don't lead into Punisher." You could have did 1, 2, and 3, and got the same fucking effect.
Okay, should they have started a week earlier then? Because the way that you just said that now, it didn't dawn on me earlier, but the way that you said that now makes it seem like they mistimed when they started the season, and they're like, "Oh shit, we need to put this episode out before we get to Punisher because something is going to connect."
Yeah, and even what you're saying, you could have totally did it a week sooner and did the same, and then just did the same weekly release. And I get why they're doing it. Like, look, I like that we can come up every week and do an episode by episode and kind of adds to I like that. It makes it, no matter what disagreements, I think only certain shows
episode 2 is called Shoot the Moon, which makes me think of Moon Knight.
Like, let me give you an example.
Episode 3 is the Scales and the Sword, which is obviously going to have something to do with the swordsman.
Let me put it to you this way. A show like Wonder Man benefits from all of it being released because honestly, that show doesn't really kick in until episode 3. So that helps you being able to binge it. But a show like Daredevil is specifically a show where they do have a beginning, middle, and end to an episode where we could judge it just solely based on the episode and the way it's structured because they got the original writer who's a fucking TV writer and understands how TV needs to be made. So the weekly format does work for this show. I'm fine with that. But I do think that there's a lot of things in the way specifically this was constructed that would have benefited from that Amazon sort of template. Like Invincible only has 8 episodes too, and they've released the first 3. Why the fuck couldn't you? And if you were going to do 2 and 3 next week, then why not just do 1, 2, and 3 this week? It's crazy because you build up that hype. You can still extend it out the way you want to. And it gives me a better narrative focus to where I could go, okay, well, 1 was rough, but then when I jumped into 2 and 3, what happened in 1 made more sense now. So I can kind of bump it up at default. But right now, as my rating stands, I'm going to be honest with you. And I'm going to pull you on this one. I'm going to give this episode, and I thought about it a lot, but it was a number that's still screaming in my head. I'm going to give it a 6. I was very disappointed. I don't think it's bad, and I don't think it's the worst worst television show or episode, but I think it was a very rough start. And quite honestly, it was tough. This episode was so fucking hard for me to get through to complete it. I
didn't think it was hard for me to complete it because I feel like the episode only got better as the episode went along. Like even the small moments when Karen and
once again, those are 9 or 10 moments. Okay, I'll give you an example.
Like they're just Matthew like hanging out, living their life.
And Daredevil kissing. I told you, I've waited for years for Daredevil and Karen to fuck. I've been waiting for that. Thank God, finally. And the producers confirmed. They were like, "Oh yeah, they're getting together." Every fan of the Netflix show has been waiting for fucking years for that to happen because they are like
Punisher,
perfect couple.
The Punisher one shot doesn't come out until May 12th.
I don't know if that date's accurate because that's what they said that this is going to lead right into the Punisher. That's why they shortened it.
Oh, it says on Google, it says mid 2026 on Disney Plus.
Yeah, so I'm telling you that's not accurate because they purposely hustled to reorganize the order of this show. So I think they may have kerfluffled the release dates because, like you said, that's why it's weird to put
12th as well. I don't know. When does Spider-Man come out? Doesn't that come out in June or does that come out in May?
I want to say it's got to come out in May if they're leading Punisher into the Spider-Man movie, according to all reports. Who knows?
But Spider-Man don't come out until July 31st. So there's nearly 2 months. Well, over 2 months. Slightly over 2 months.
So then if Punisher leads into Spider-Man, right?
I mean,
that'll be
you're
weird.
In the time frame.
That'll be weird because that means there's a 2-month gap?
I mean, a 2-month gap could mean that there is actually 2 months in between them, or it could mean that they just wanted you to get on the hype train for the next thing.
I mean,
think about when
that could build excitement. That might be actually a really smart move because you keep people excited and you can promote it like, oh, you got to see Daredevil to get you know what I mean? Like Daredevil leads into Punisher leads into the scene that goes into Spider-Man. So actually, that might be a brilliant move because then it gets eyes onto the show.
Because the last episode comes out 41 days from now. So what the heck does that equate to? That equates to just before the Punisher.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, it's the 25th today, so 30 days from now would be the 25th, plus another 6 days would be like the 1st of May or something like that. I don't know. I'm not looking at a calendar. I'm just looking at how many days are. So there would be 2 weeks from the end of Daredevil before Punisher, and then 2 months until Spider-Man. I don't know, man. I feel like they're all going to be connected.
Yeah, so there's definitely...
I gave this episode
that timeline's pretty tight.
I gave it an 8.
Someone may have fluffled, and they were closer, and so that's why we got the wonky release because they wanted to give more of a gap, which is smart because you keep that hype going until you lead into the movie.
I may have been closer to giving this episode a 6 if Matthew Lillard was not in it.
I was on a 7 with you.
I gave it an 8, dickhead.
No, I was closer to a 7 because of Matthew Lillard. But then when we talked about it, I talked myself into a 6 because the more I thought about it, the more it just pisses me off.
The more that we've talked about it, the more I am intrigued for the rest of the season. Because if the first episode starts off, let's say, dog shit, and ends with me going, oh,
but okay. So I want to make this known. First of all, a 6 isn't a bad score.
The final scene was spectacular, guy. And I have one question. I have one question about the final scene. Is Bullseye following Matt Murdock and he just knows where he is all the time? Or is he following Cherry and knows where he is all the time? Because what timing?
No, I think Bullseye is following the task force and he specifically wanted to pick off them, and Daredevil and that guy just happened to be there because Bullseye is a self-interest character, and I think he's personally trying to take out Fisk's forces, and so Daredevil and them just happened to be there. I don't think he was there specifically for any one of them. I think he just wanted to fuck with Fisk, and he's been following their task force wherever they go. Because they do make mention earlier in the episode that groups of the cops have been being taken out by somebody, but they don't know who it is. He briefly mentions it to James Gandolfini's son. I always just call him that because that's who he is. And he goes, find out who's taking out our cops. So they did make a little reference. So I think he was just there to fuck with another group of cops. And then it just happened to be Daredevil was there, and so he carved a thank you into the blade, or you're welcome into the blade, and then threw it. Which
I thought was hilarious. We're writing stuff.
That whole
Daredevil
scene,
can't read that
whole scene. If that was the most of the show, we're sitting at a 7 or 8. But like you said, for me, it's what happened to you in the Mandalorian's first episode. I got back-to-back bad taste in my mouth. The middle was kind of slow. And then we picked up at the ending, which, like you, I'm excited because if I'm starting at a 6, that to me is good because it could only go up. At least that's how I feel this show is constructed.
There are more numbers lower than 6 than there are above 6. It can't just go up. If you gave it a 1, then it could just go up.
But no, I still feel like for me, I feel like 2 and 3 will really determine how this show is going to level up. Because, the Jessica Jones episode, I'm just going to let you guys know.
I fucking love
Kristen Ritter. I love Jessica Jones. If you haven't heard, I might actually do a video on the first season and how brilliant it is. And by the way, spoilers, the first season of Jessica Jones for me is a 10 out of 10. Perfect television. Doesn't get much better than that season of Jessica Jones. David Tennant is one of the best villains, full stop. I would say he's better than Thanos. full stop, because he could literally take control of Thanos if he wanted to. He's a fucking psychic. He invades people's mind. That's his thing. The only person he can't take on, and this is from like X-Men comic books, he can't invade like Magneto or Xavier, because Xavier is too powerful and Magneto has the fucking helmet. But anybody else in the Marvel universe, he can control their mind. And I can't say certain things on YouTube, but the premise of Jessica Jones is he took control of her and he essentially SA'd her because he did stuff without her consent. And the whole season is about her getting over or becoming a hero while going through this trauma and having superpowers to basically she has like superhuman strength. That's her thing. So, I mean, it's a great show. David Tennant is one of the best villains in the MCU, full stop. And fucking check it out. But with that being said, Kristen Ritter does a great job. She's this hard drinking, no nonsense, fucking bad bitch. She is what, like, when people go and they go, oh, we need strong, empowered women characters. And blah, blah, blah.
Like Ray.
She's what I consider like the Ellen Ripley, stuff like that, because she's not trying to be a badass. She doesn't put down the opposite sex. She just has personality. She has her
that's
own.
not what I understood that you told me about her and Luke Cage.
No, and she's into diversity. We'll leave it at that.
From what I understand, she puts Luke Cage down a couple times.
Down and through a wall. Dude, PB, you've got to watch that show just for that scene. Look, I'm not into just highlighting like steamy scenes on shows, but
yes, you are.
They
That's the only reason I watched High School, whatever it was.
Dude, okay, watch that show, because they knock out the side of a wall. Like her friend who's like this heroin addict comes in and he goes, what happened to your wall? She slams Luke Cage into this wall, and you just see the fucking whole wall crumble before they make it to the fucking bed, because he was like, I don't want to hurt you. And then she grabs him and fucking slams him into the wall. And then he grabs her and she like has her legs wrapped around him and he fucking slams her into the wall. Dude, like, look. Goddamn, man. Perfect. Like, it's the closest thing. It reminds me of like those like late night Cinemax Showtime fucking shows. Like, but dude, the sex scenes in Jessica Jones are wild. But anyways,
that's why it's on Disney Plus. Like I was on Disney Plus. So, I watched the 4 episodes of Marshalls, which is supposed to be a Yellowstone spinoff. Which okay, whatever. But it's on CBS, so there's no F-bombs. So what did I do? I went to Disney Plus for my F-bombs. There are more in this episode than I remember in any single episode from season 1. Yeah, like they were not shy about it.
No, and so like I said, 6 for me. Where are you gonna put this at?
I gave it an 8.
Wow. Okay. Wow. This is.
I like everything after that first scene.
See, I don't, and I think that's where
everything seems to make sense. I mean, I agree with you that it's a little slow, and that's why it's only at an 8, because like we're using an entire episode to set up the whole season.
I finally understand your Batman review now, because you're where I am with the Batman, and I'm where you were, where I'm like, no, man, this is a 6. Like, Matthew Lillard's cool and all that, but I can't get myself past the 6. Like, I even wanted to do a 7, but like, I just keep on coming. Like, no, this is a 6 for me.
So you're saying it's like a 6-7?
I'm saying, okay, this is what I'm saying.
We're not that cool on this channel. We don't use that ridiculous phrase.
I could see myself bumping it to a 6.5 if the rest of the season kind of lines up with what you're saying. Like if we come back
the rest
and I
of the
watch
season could make the first episode better. That's fair.
Yeah. And then hell, maybe it could be a 7 because then I could be like, oh, well, episode 1 was slow because it set up all this cool shit at the end. And I'd be like, okay, I'll raise it because we needed that to get
the
to
only
this.
thing that it's setting up that I don't think is going to be cool is psychiatrist chick.
That's my other reason
everywhere.
for
I don't think that's going to lead to anything cool.
Okay. Other reason, remember you said there was a bunch of cool shit? As soon as she shows up in the show, drops my fucking rating instantly. And that's where I was saying I was bored. Like, okay. This is what I think they are going to imply, and I really hope they don't go this route. I think, and I'm putting my tinfoil cowboy hat on for this. In the comics, there is a female muse. In the comics, Muse attacks a female psychiatrist. Sound familiar? She lives, he dies, and she takes the mantle of the new Muse. I hated that comic book run. It was so terrible that they killed her and Muse returned for through some bullshit because they realized, oh shit, this wasn't selling. First off, I never fucking liked this character. And since the first season, she was the one thing in the show I critiqued heavily. Sure, the actress is great. I seen her in the interviews. She seems like a lovely lady. I don't have an issue with her. She's fine. But the character itself, I can't stand the character. I don't know what it is. It's one of those characters that is just fucking annoying. And it's like, bitch, you were going to be killed by this dude. How do you hate Daredevil for helping save your fucking life? You're like, oh, but I was forced to shoot. He was going to use your blood to create a painting. This is why it's a 6, BB. Now, you reminded me because I was like, yeah, he's right. I like Matthew Lillard. What was the other thing? It was her. She dropped this fucking score. This character is useless, and I hope they go with the first arc that the lady wrote where she jumps off a fucking building. I'm sorry, that sounds bad, but really, I hope this character exits the show. I'll put it nicely. She's terrible. It brings the whole fucking show down. But according to what they're saying, she has a huge arc in this show. So I hope it ends with her fucking jumping off the building like she did in the comics, because she is one of the worst fucking characters that has entered this show. Yep, that's where my 6 is coming from. Yep. I fucking hate her character so much. And it's not that they make the character woke or whatever. It's just she's so useless and annoying in every fucking scene she is. And she drags the pace of the show down so tremendously. Like it just put the fucking brakes on, and I gotta see her fucking hallucinating and bitching about how bad vigilantes are. And not only that, but she fucking tried to psychoanalyze our favorite boy Jack.
You didn't like that scene?
I liked his dialogue, like how he was like throwing it in her face when she was trying to like psychoanalyze him. But I hate her. Like her face annoys me, her fucking mannerisms, and yeah, that's where my 6 comes from. I fucking hate that character. Like honestly, if they kill her off, whatever episode it's in, 10. Fucking 10. I don't even need to see the rest of the episode. Just her dying would instantly make that episode fucking climb. God, I hate Heather. She's the worst character.
Next time I need to send you the thumbnail on X, because it really seems like sending it to you through Instagram has lowered the resolution.
Yeah, it might have.
Well, I'm just looking at the words, and you can see how they're like just a little bit jaggedy where they shouldn't be. So then I went back and looked at the picture on my phone, and it said that it was 1300 by 700 or whatever, so it's full high definition. So it made me think, well, it should look clearer than this, which means that Instagram screwed me. That's all right.
But yeah, so I don't know. Do you hate this character as much as I? Because I feel like you're more forgiving than maybe I am. I
don't, but I don't think that, at least so far, with the turn that she made from being like pro-vigilante to anti-vigilante because she got attacked, like without having that fleshed out more, she's definitely underutilized. Like you could have had any character, because nobody cares. Like I don't care about her character, right? Like I don't care about the character.
And neither do I.
Does she do a good job as an actress in the scenes that she is? That I believe that she's a therapist or psychologist or whatever. Absolutely, but I don't care about her.
I agree with you.
She stopped dating Daredevil. I don't care about her.
No. And here's the thing: the actress herself.
I mean, it's not like they went from, oh, Peter's dating Gwen Stacy, and then now they're not dating anymore, and I don't care about her. No, I still care about her because she's Spider-Gwen. Like, she has a whole nother arc to work with. Whereas this chick, I don't know, man. If you write her out of the show right now, is anything going to change? Probably not. Because you can bring in anybody. Because I have a feeling that she's going to get pushed a little, like they already started pushing her to change her results on the questions that she asked. And then they're going to push her a little further and a little further. And at some point, she's going to be like, holy shit, I'm a villain. I got to stop acting like this. And she's going to turn back to the light.
I see. I don't even want that arc. Honestly, I
want her to go full villain. And then somebody kills her like Frank Castle because she's bad. Because he hits guys and they stay down.
I want Bullseye because obviously they changed the arc. If you guys don't know, spoilers from the comics, Bullseye killed Karen. They flipped it in the first season. Karen was actually killed. And that was the person that drove. So I would be okay with them killing this late because then we can make that connection and be like, oh, okay. It would explain, like, it would move their, like you said, it would move Daredevil's character forward.
I don't think Bullseye is not going to be in position to kill her because the only person who's going to want her dead is Kingpin, and he fucking hates Kingpin now.
I still think, though, because they have that connection, he would still be upset about it. You know what I mean? Her death to me, he seems like, well, he is tapping Karen, and Kristen Willow is a lot hotter than whoever this girl is. But anyways, that is a point. Oh, fun fact. She actually took this role. If you guys don't know, the person who plays Karen Page, her husband is blind. And so she took this role, and that's why they have such great chemistry. They were talking about it, but look it up. The actress is actually married to somebody who is blind, and she does a lot of stuff with people who are visually impaired. So shout out to that actress. She's great. She started off in True Blood, season 1 towards the end. And she's a phenomenal actress, and I'm really glad
I never watched any of True Blood.
Yeah, it's like Game of Thrones, man, but on a lesser level. Like, at least the ending, I could still watch the show through and get to the ending. And yeah, it's disappointing, but it's not like, I don't think there's ever been a show or will ever be a show like Game of Thrones where it's just a fucking catastrophic failure. Well, not even Dexter, because they have New Blood and Resurrection. So I gotta just be like, oh yeah, that ending just doesn't exist. But yeah, I don't think, like, it's nothing to the level of Game of Thrones, but it's still a pretty awful final. But yeah, so here's the thing, too, that I'm still 50-50 on, and my other complaint before we get into the Invincible, and a character that I don't hate, but I'm not connecting with, and I really want to, because the actress has this kind of, she is charismatic, and I feel like I should, and I don't know if you feel this way when I say this person, but I feel like I want to, but there's something that's keeping me from connecting to this character. I don't know if you feel the same way, but the reporter BB or whatever, I really want to like her. Okay. I don't, and I think the actress does a great job. And this is my problem with a lot of these
you would
new
be connected
characters.
to her more because she's connected to a person from the original show.
I think that's going to help me, but I still feel like it's kind of forced because they know from the first season she wasn't very particularly embraced by the fans. I think it's smart connecting her to Karen, and it makes sense. Brilliant. Like, here's the thing. Like I said to you when we talked about this offline, I think that the show creators give a shit. I think that they have a plan, which is great because we've dealt with a lot of people who don't have any. Like, remember we talked, and I talked to you about this last night, and I said we watched Game of Thrones, and it sounded fucking ridiculous. Listen to what their reasons are. We watched this show now really quick because then we got to get into Invincible, but I feel like the showrunners have a plan that, and what they say to me makes sense when I watched their thing. Like, how did you feel about that? Because I felt like it made the first season better for me, considering what they had to deal with the rewrites and everything. And it kind of made me go, especially watching the first season when we were talking with the actors or whatever. It made me feel like they have a direction. They have a plan, and some of what they're saying, while I didn't like the scene or whatever, I still feel like they gave me a good justification for doing the thing that they did. You know what I mean?
I do.
Because, like, I'm listening to it, and I don't know if it's a matter of they didn't pull it off how they're explaining it. You know what I mean? Like, maybe they see how they set the scene up a little bit different of how we're seeing it. And I get what the vision was. I just felt like the execution didn't quite.
That's fair.
Didn't quite hit. So I'm optimistic because I don't think, and for everyone watching, I don't think this is a bad show. I don't even think this is the worst start to a show. But for me, for a Daredevil opener, I put the bar higher, and I'm grading not on other television shows. I'm grading on other pre-existing Daredevil show openers. I got more than this guy. I'm even judging it on all the openers, where PB is judging it only on the first one, but I think we can both agree. Even if we just take out Netflix, right? Take out that one. Just comparing them one for one, the opener from the first season to this one, this was a weaker opener. It was like, this was just a weaker start for me.
Well, yeah, because, I mean, at least from the initial, what's the word I'm looking for? From what I've seen first, like, they're setting up higher stakes in season one because they killed somebody right away. And you're supposed to think that they killed two somebodies because you think that he killed Bullseye, but he ends up that he didn't. Whereas in season two, they don't kill off any character. And I mean, does any named character die in the first episode?
Cherry died, which
Cherry did not die.
He did.
No, he didn't.
He had a heart attack.
Saying that Cherry, saying that I watched all of it, I listened to all of it. Saying that Cherry died in episode 1 is tantamount to saying that Daredevil sank a ship. Because he didn't. Cherry had a heart attack, and Cherry quite possibly could die, but the episode ends before you see any fallout. There's still time to save him, and there's still time for him to die. Like, it can go either way, and at the start of the next episode, I presume it's either going to pick up right where it left off, or there's going to be a time jump, and he's either going to be in the hospital, or they're going to be visiting him at the morgue. He didn't fucking die yet. He's real close.
Okay, we'll settle this debate because the only way we're going to know is next episode. Because some articles are saying he died and some are saying he's not dead. So
some articles say Daredevil sank a ship.
That's why I'm saying we're gonna have to see. We're gonna have to see the next episode because goddamn, dude, this is why people watch channels like us or other people because, dude, it's wild. Me and you looking up the coverage is so crazy. How wrong
to just blatantly lie.
Dude, like, and like some headlights are like, "Oh, main character died," but yeah, you're right. Okay, I will give you it's ambiguous, but like, I took it as he's dead because he was like he's grabbing the right arm.
Right, I'm gonna type it up.
Would have to come.
Daredevil sank a ship, and then somebody reads what I've typed, and they're like, "Oh, that sounds really cool. I want to see Daredevil sink a ship. Like he's got to be doing something crazy." And then you watch it, and you're like, "I thought it said Daredevil sank a ship," when in reality he went on a ship. He punched a couple guys, and then he got sucked out of the stern. Like, right out the bottom of the ship and swim to shore.
You know who didn't get sucked out of the bottom of the ship? Mark. In the brand new episode in Invincible. Season 4.
Oh, so good, guy. He is so damn good.
So, okay, I'm going to just give a spoiler here. And I'm just going to say this right now, and I'll give you my reasons for this. 10. I will explain why. There's a lot of things that got me to that, but
okay. This hold on before you continue. I will give my number as well, and we'll see if you can talk me up to it, because I'm only at an 8. Which 8 is really good. But compared to the first 3 episodes, this is the lowest rated episode.
Hold on. I will give you that, but I will try to sway you because
I'm swayable. It's happened before.
Music choices and
who
they casted as Satan. I don't know if you picked up on who the voice actor is.
Oh gosh. I didn't pick up on it, but I did watch a video or two of people talking about it. And they said who it was, and now I can't remember. I know it was a name.
Campbell.
Oh, yeah.
And you know I'm a Bruce Campbell whore.
You're not the only one here. Bruce Campbell is the greatest B-list actor of all time.
Yes. That's not even a debate. I will say 10 because Bruce Campbell is the devil, which is just fucking awesome. But the song, FYI, Avenged Sevenfold.
Oh, yeah, that was great.
Points there. And
I was having Guitar Hero flashbacks.
This episode was self-contained, yet it felt so relevant to what was going on. I love the dynamic between Darkon and Mark, and it's like we said with Wonder Man.
Talking about the Damian Darkblood?
Damian Darkblood and Mark, I like the conversations. That's what bumps it.
I mean, I like the conversations too, because it's mostly because of the delivery of Damian, because it's like, it's not English, but it's real close, and I get what you're trying to say, but can we get to the point? And Mark's like, oh, Satan, you want me to fight Satan? Okay.
And what was at a 9 when they drop down, the scene when they talk about the armor that comes on and off.
Oh, that was great.
I was laughing so fucking hard when he's like,
why does it do that?
And it's like, cool. Who would do that? And then at the end, and he's like, it's pretty cool. Okay, so let me break this down. The reason why I'm giving this episode a 10 is because episodes 1 through 3 were so bleak and depressing. And this is why I love Invincible. And look, I know 8 for you. That's not saying it's shitty. I'm just at a 10 because it's got more. It's pulling more at my nostalgia bones, especially with the Bruce Campbell thing. But also, too, I think this episode is just so fun. I haven't laughed this much in an Invincible episode. Quite something. Dude, they've been fucking depressing and bleak since like season 2 at the end.
It definitely had a good amount of comedy. I agree with that.
And I love how they can still. I like how they still have the comedy, but yet you have those heartfelt moments where he's talking to Damien Darkblood and he's like, I know like what bad is and things like that, and you are nothing like your father.
Around on me.
And I even love how he talks about summoning him and he goes, well, do you think my dad would have helped you? And he would have been like, no, it would have been in the self-interest of both of our like realms. And I like the whole discussion about hell. I think it was very clever because we've heard different variations of how like hell is not necessarily evil, but it's keeping all of these other things at bay. Like, I just loved the whole setup of this episode. I loved that it was just one little contained episode with just these one characters.
Except that it's not. That's part of my problem with it. I'll get to that when you're done.
I disagree because most of that to me was peripheral. Like, we got the thing with Adam Eve and the baby.
I'm not talking about that.
But I love the lava monsters and
lava monsters were cool.
Yeah, I like that battle. I just loved like
I liked that battle up until the point where Volcanikka just like she's fighting him, and she's taking some punches, and she's giving some punches, she's taking some punches, she's giving some punches, and then she gets pissed off, and she's like, "Rip you in half, rip you in half." I was like, "Why were we not doing this from the start? Like, you're supposed to be evil." Like, I can see toying with people a little bit, but she seemed to let it lead on a little too long when she can literally just take these demons and rip them in half. I was like, why is this fight lasting so long if this is how it ends? Because it's not like somebody got tired and was like, you got me. No, they were at like damn near full strength and she just in half. And I was like, oh, so it's that easy?
I mean, I get it though, because she's an elder god. It's more of a let's see if they could. And she's like, okay, now I'm bored. Like, I don't think I have as much.
I don't think she got bored. I think she got pissed.
Yeah, well, maybe they got a good hit in and she was like, oh, okay, now I'm going to fucking, because I think she even said her original plan was she was just going to let him carry a message and then she just sent.
I mean, it's like
Damien back.
It's like Superman fighting Darkseid, right? Isn't that when he gives the speech where you could take it, big boy, and
yep.
Fucking unloads on him, full fucking strength. First time in his life he's ever punched somebody at full strength.
So I'm kind of curious, what side plot are you talking about? Because for me, everything else
I'm talking about it seemed like it was entirely self-contained. Problem number one, I'm not 100% sure because I don't worship at the Church of Satan, but satanic rituals that involve excising somebody to, let's call it a different realm, even though they're just inside the earth or whatever. Like, it's just a portal. If they used Nolan's blood, why didn't it bring Nolan? Like, it, as far as I understand, a demonic portal, it has nothing to do with distance. Oh,
you gotta watch the episode again. It wasn't Nolan's blood. It was.
Yes, it was.
No, it was his blood.
Yes, it was Nolan's blood. They made it explicit that it was Nolan's blood. He thought it was going to be Nolan showing up, and he's like, "Oh, I guess the spell was like close enough." They say that in the episode guide. Maybe you need to watch it again. But they explicitly say he was expecting Nolan because he had Nolan's blood. And he was like, well, you were closer. So the chains are only so long through my demonic portal. And they can only reach up to the surface. I can't reach out into space anywhere. I thought that was ridiculous.
I mean, but it's
you should be able to, if we're talking about
magic is
a magical spell should be able to find the person as long as they're alive.
No, I could debunk that because
yes,
I can, because John Constantine has said it too. Magic has perimeters and it has certain things that's what keeps the balance. So Nolan is technically not on Earth. This spell is to summon a person that was supposed to be on Earth.
That is not.
Said,
they don't. No,
reach
man. Like, you're
space.
just making stuff up in your head canon.
No, because it said.
There's nowhere in the show. You find me any part in the show that says, "Oh, my demon portals only reach to the surface of Earth." Find me anywhere in Invincible where they say that.
You have to be able to physically manifest the person at that specific point. And he even said, he brought up the point in the Justice League thing.
My second problem is they make the devil into a bitch.
No,
and I'm not talking about. No. Hold on. I know where you're going to disagree. I'm not talking about when he's not at his full power. I'm talking about when he's at his full power and Volcanikka is like, fuck this guy. Like, it was not a fight. She put them spikes through him and he was going to die if Mark didn't come over there and punch him in the face.
Explain that. There are ancient ones, and this isn't any fucking mythology that you look at. And you probably never seen this show, but even the show like Hell of a Boss, or not Hell of a Boss, Has Been Hotel. The devil is in that show. It's kind of fucking hilarious, but the devil is the ruler of hell, all powerful. He likes ducks and weird shit. It's a funny show. Watch it if you haven't.
Did you say you just said all powerful?
Yes, but
okay.
But there are still limits and conditions to that power. There are still beings that are technically more powerful than the devil. There's different things that give him power, but it doesn't mean he can't be defeated. Because if he was unbeatable, then God wouldn't have sent him to hell. So there are workarounds. There are beings that are more powerful than the devil.
Okay.
Probably up there with God, which is why they're exiled. I mean, look at any mythology.
Okay, you haven't changed my mind about this.
The most powerful person in the other world is supposed to be Hades, but yet the Titans have to be locked in a specific certain jail, because if they ever got out, they could literally get out of hell. Okay, so there's always something more powerful.
So Damien said that we're on the 6th generation or whatever he called it.
Well, man's the 5th. No, man's the 5th generation.
Oh, we're the 5th. 6th would be whenever the next one comes around, which you would think would be after the Invincible War, but probably not with the way that the show is going to go. Anyway, so he talks about 1, 2, but he doesn't talk about 3, and he didn't talk about 4 because he was leading up to it for the purposes of storytelling, which was fucking hilarious. Like that.
Yep.
I love it. I was laughing pretty good. And I was like, okay, we're not talking about 3. What in the hell happened during the 3rd generation?
Okay.
Like, is it going to connect to the Viltrumites? Because that's my first half of the question. My second half of the question is, has Viltrum been along for the ride in the cosmos since Generation 1? Like, how old is there?
Why are you asking me these questions? Because I know the answers I want to tell you.
Which means that the story is written properly. They're making me ask questions because they have the answers.
Yeah. Because I wanted to tell you that's another reason.
I know this show is fucking top quality.
And that's why I wanted to tell you I'm giving it a 10, because I know what they're dropping. And that's why I like talking with you, because you haven't read the comics.
Dude, I'm finding it more difficult to avoid stuff, because like I'm seeing videos on YouTube that are like, oh, we're going to explain every Viltrumite to you. And I was like, how are you going to explain Thrag to me when I've seen him for all of 20 seconds in the entire series? Like, you're going to explain him to me? Like, I know he's in charge. That's all we know. No, as far as the TV show is concerned.
But here's the thing, that they're dropping hints. Now, they may not keep it the same, which is what I love about the show, because they do add them in, but they do tweak some things. But I hate that you pick up on that, because yes, there is an arc there. And it's funny that would be your question, because they're doing, and like you said, they're good writers. They, to this day, and this is why I think it's kind of unfair to compare Invincible and Daredevil, but we're doing it. So
I mean,
fuck it.
I would say that
These
it would be unfair, but it's not our fault that they decided to release them at the same time.
Yeah, fair point.
Not to mention, in 2 weeks, it's going to be even more difficult because Shadow Lord's going to be out.
Jesus.
We are so spoiled.
Oh man, we are eating good this year. That Jesus Christ, man, this is like the most I've gotten gray hairs, and for once, it's not from Bitchy or the Little Dictator. This is just all the shit that's coming out. I'm like, honestly, PB, I think we might have to do a collab this year for the top 10 best television shows. And I might have to wait.
I don't even know how I would track that because I'm not going to remember.
Oh my God, man.
We're going to get towards the end of the year and we're going to be like, yeah, Reacher was amazing.
Everything has been.
Dude, I'm going to laugh my ass off if they put a scene in that show now where he was riding a motorcycle and somebody stops him.
And he beats the shit out of them.
That'll be great.
But, dude,
did you just fart?
That's how excited I am.
I heard that clear as day. I was like, whoa. My God, man.
That's how excited.
That's how excited. All of excitement.
It's building up. Okay, so this is what I want to tell you. I accept your 8. But do you think you have the option of going up when you find out where this leads? Because I can promise you, your complaints will be answered. You're going to get more on why Satan is not as powerful as you originally conceived. And
I don't think that he's as powerful as I originally conceived. What I have a problem with is the relative power scaling in the sense of how did he become the ruler of hell when Volcanikka was there the whole time and they can't do shit to her. They can't.
Like I said, you picked up on it. I don't want it would change your mind and change your answer, but I don't want to answer it because it would be a very big spoiler because obviously they dropped it in the show.
And okay.
Let me put it
personally. Hold on, let me.
He got his crown, but you're missing the other things that they didn't bring. The other thing that makes him Satan. He just doesn't have a crown. There's a second thing that he doesn't have yet, and they haven't.
I was also disappointed in the amount of Alan time that I got in the episode. He didn't even say anything.
Oh, that's not okay. Look.
That's just a personal thing. Like, I want more Alan in the show. So when I
love Alan as much as you do, I don't think you can dock an episode for that.
How can you not dock an episode?
I disagree. Not every episode has to have Alan.
I mean, that's like when Rex was alive and you go through an episode and you're like, Rex didn't say a single smart-ass thing in this episode. Lose points.
No, that's different because he was in the episode. He just didn't say anything smart-ass.
Right, so this was even worse because they put Alan in the episode.
Alan is not meant to be on Earth all the time. He's a fucking alien. He's doing intergalactic shit.
I mean, that's what was so great about season 3 was you're like, holy shit, this episode was only like 20 minutes long. And then the post-credit scene is like 12 fucking minutes. And it's all Alan the alien, which is awesome. Because people like Alan the alien because he's awesome. We need more Alan the alien. So when I get less of Alan the Alien, like, I'm not supposed to dock the show because, it was great, but I didn't get what I want. Yeah, that's exactly what I'm going to do. Those are my personal preference points.
Okay, but now you're just ranking on personal preference and not exactly the quality of the episode.
Okay, and then I'll tell you the other little problem that I had. I presume the chick who was in Egypt dealing with whatever fucking
okay.
No. Let me lead up to it. I mean, for what I want to say, whatever the fuck,
which was fucking hilarious.
Damien called it. No, it was. So I presume because they don't explicitly show it that the chick who's in Egypt was the one that called Mark or called Eve and was like, hey, we need help with this, blah, blah, blah. So then he went there, and they went like, did they do that in a previous episode last season and I just don't remember it?
Yeah.
Okay, so I didn't remember it. That's fine. That's fine. That's not what my problem is. That's not a problem at all. It's like there's plenty of shit that happened that I don't remember and doesn't get referenced in the previously on, and then you just pick up where it is and you're like, oh, okay, now I can connect the dots myself. My problem is he leaves or gets excised to hell, does the whole side mission in hell, which was great. Like the actual mission in hell was great. And I especially laughed at the end where he's like, kill this bitch. Oh, she's alive again. Kill this bitch. Oh, she's alive again. Kill this bitch. Is this something we can do to stop this from happening again? And then she leaves. I was like, okay, whatever. Why, oh, why, when he got back to the surface, did it, one, not put him back in Egypt, which is like, why wouldn't it put you back where it took you from? You think that it would, but whatever. We'll put that to the side. Even if it doesn't put you back in Egypt, you know what you were doing before you left. Like, you seen this fucking evil spirit in a fucking mummy that's talking to you, and you're just like, I don't need to check on that chick. It'll be fine.
So, okay.
You abandoned her.
You might not vibe with this, but that's the joke.
It was a joke?
It's supposed to be a joke, like, oh, he got teleported back to his house, and then it switches to the drama. So the joke is supposed to be that he forgot about the girl. That is the joke. He went right back home, and it went into a melodramatic scene, which that's why I said 10 for me, because it was hilarious, because the joke is he just totally fucking
how could you
got back into his own.
at a floating fucking mummy in front of you, imbued with the spirit of some evil son of a bitch, and you're like, I don't need to go back to that. Nobody's gonna forget this. Like you're invincible.
Trust
you do all
me,
this crazy shit all the time.
Gonna
you don't
come,
fucking forget that.
And that's gonna come back again later on.
It's gonna come back because the person walked away.
Yeah, it's gonna come back later on, but that's the gag, is that they're so wrapped up in his own personal matters that he let stuff slip. And then he also was about to find out he had a kid until, you know, the person you were waiting for. You should have given it a 10 because Alan did appear.
He didn't say anything.
That's because the better of the two, I'm sorry, come at me, bro, but him going, Mark,
I mean, it seemed, with the way that it played out and not knowing what's going to happen next, it seemed like it was very much similar to the first episode of Daredevil in the sense that it's a lot of setup. Like we went through this whole side mission in hell because it's meant to set up stuff later, not because we're resolving anything, because that's what you told me. Technically, nothing's resolved. Volcanikka is still out there, and the
third
devil doesn't have his power yet because he doesn't have his Atlantean trident or some shit.
It's more of a sword. I'll give you
what
he has a sword. But yeah.
Okay, well that's worse because everybody sees the devil with a pitchfork. So why do you give him a fucking sword?
They'll probably make a joke about that, but that's all myth.
Did he steal it from He-Man?
No, actually he stole it from Gabriel. Gabriel has a flaming sword. They battle.
I know, guy.
Yeah, in the Bible, supposedly Gabriel.
Hey, so there's a good question. If hell is real in the sense of the way they portray it in the show, and Damien says that there is no heaven, we're supposed to make Earth our heaven because it's the above. Okay, where do the angels come from? Sounds like the angels could be,
I can't tell you.
Humanoid style being that's able to fly through space and has super strength and stuff. The angels are fucking Viltrumites.
No. God, stop asking me questions, PB. Stop
I
it.
didn't ask.
No, because you're posing stuff, and I want to tell you, they're not okay. They're not Viltrumites, but
they're tech jackets.
Remember how they said humans were primitive, but thanks to what hell did, they were able to advance? Third age, that's all I got to say. There was a reason why the third age was not talked about and why Satan kind of switched his focus to protecting humans. There was a thing that happens in the third age, and it's where angels and things come in. There are canonically angels, but
So
not in the
Viltrum
way.
tried to destroy Earth in the third age, and Satan decided to take everybody underground so that they didn't know they were there. That's pretty impressive.
No, Satan tried to attack the Earth in the third age, and they turned the advancements he gave them in the second age against hell, and it was a draw. So there are angels and different things, but not in the way that's portrayed in, like, say, the Bible. And then when the fourth and fifth age came, man became philosophical and stuff, and these things kind of got lost in time. But I don't want to say anything, but there is going to be a group that's going to be introduced if they're going the way I think they're going. And it kind of explains where you get the angel and
okay,
their
so I have a completely disconnected question other than the fact that it's about the same show. Does Nolan meet the man who's banging his ex-pet?
Fuck, man. Stop asking me questions.
I just want to know if they meet.
Maybe.
Okay, so they definitely meet. Interesting.
Possibly.
Well, I don't suppose like they're not going to leave the planet without telling their mom where they're going or what they're doing. Well, they might not say what they're doing because they'll probably say something vague like, "We're saving the universe."
I will say this is the redemption tour for Omni-Man. So stop asking me questions. God damn it.
Yeah, but I don't think he's not going to like do a bunch of heroic stuff on Earth in this moment. Like, I presume they're going to leave, and at some point they're going to fight a Viltrumite battle on Earth, and Mark's going to have to fight that female Viltrumite.
Nope, that's not going to be a battle.
Oh, I bet it's not.
That's going to be after the war. Because then they're going to get
a new powers does the child inside Eve have?
I can't tell you.
No, but I mean, like, does it work in the same sense of Saiyans? Like, Gohan's half Saiyan, Goten is half Saiyan.
The best thing I can give you, remember that bullshit they pulled in Fantastic Four? They stole that from Invincible. Bullshit? The baby is like that baby in Fantastic Four.
That it was made with cosmic energy?
No. I mean, how its powers works.
I have no idea how the baby's powers work.
It will protect the mother, but it's taking her energy until it's born.
For cosmic
That's
energy?
why she can't create stuff. All of her energy is going into the baby right now.
Well, that definitely counts as creating something.
How did I put it?
I thought you were talking about Miss Fantastic just now, not Eve, just so we're clear.
No. So Miss Fantastic, how they portrayed it in the movie is actually how it's working in the Invincible show. The baby's powers are going to come into effect and in a particular moment because they're very much leading into
okay. Let's take it a step further. I'm told that all of the human DNA and or the bug DNA that are in Nolan's children is going to be overwritten by Viltrumite DNA, and they will turn into 100% Viltrumites. Correct?
Yep.
So that leads me to believe that the child inside is going to have some version of Eve's powers and the Viltrumite powers. And as the Viltrumite powers come to the surface, they should technically lose the other ones.
Nope, because Mark is not
wrong.
100% Viltrumite.
But he's going to become 100% Viltrumite.
He will, but the baby won't.
Why? Because the baby is only a quarter Viltrumite? That's why. Are there any quarter Saiyans? Like, doesn't Gohan have a kid at some point?
Yeah. But because of the fact, and this is why the Viltrumites try to keep the lineage pure in a sense, because Adam Eve is human and has abilities, and her abilities are separate from Mark. And because Mark is not technically 100% Viltrumite, and when they banged, it's a split, the majority of the baby is not Viltrumite. She's got to have the hard to die strength to an extent, but a majority of the baby's powers is not Mark.
For now,
you also have to remember the human part with DNA and everything is different than how it works on Viltrum. So,
the mother's going by what they've told me in the show. The Viltrumite DNA overwrites any of the other DNA, which is why Oliver is less purple.
Yeah, but it's not the same with humans, which is why Mark is an anomaly, and you'll find out more about that, because Mark does turn mostly Viltrumite, but he did. I can't tell you more without spoiling some things in the season. Let's just say it doesn't. He's the exception to the rule in a lot of ways, which is why he doesn't have the bloodlust, he had the killing, all of that. And that's going to directly affect him and Adam Eve's child, because she's going to inherit less of that, which means their child is going to be more human. The only thing she gets from Viltrum is she's going to age slower. That's brought up later. And she's going to have more of her mom's powers. They're going to stay with her. So she's going to be essentially way more powerful than Mark or Adam Eve. She's basically, and because of this, it's going to be an arc later. Their child is going to essentially be like the end run where the Viltrumites want to study her because she is an anomaly in the way that their DNA works. So it's going to be a very key plot point towards the end of the run, Mark's child and where that all goes. She's very key to possibly saving the race, but I don't want to give any more away. So stop asking me questions.
You wanted to review.
This is the one series where I'm like, stop asking me questions, PB. You know I spoil things. I don't want to spoil anything.
I don't know. It would be interesting to see you attempt to try and spoil something, and then it's completely different in the show.
I'm hoping that I'm wrong, but I'm just saying the way they set it up leads me to believe it's going to go in this direction. Now, some things that I thought were going to happen were changed slightly or completely altered, but for the most part, they've been pretty faithful with the main story beats, and their kid is a very big, very important, like I'm talking to the end of the whole run. Their child is very...
Okay, answer me this question. From where we are right now, Nolan showed up on Earth to collect his children. How many more years are going to pass before the comic is completed? Because if you're saying their child is going to grow at a relatively normal rate compared to Oliver with his weird bug DNA.
That's what I'm saying.
So it makes it sound like the show technically has to go on for another 20 years.
They could do it 6 or 7, like they plan.
We're going to have this 7-year-old boy fighting people.
It's not a boy. And
whatever.
And you're partially right, but some things happen that I can't say. The child does grow quickly and then stops and grows normally. So, and there's a specific reason. there's also a thing that happens with time travel and
God, it just okay. So without ever having read the comic, but hearing people talk about it and talking with you, it really makes me feel like they're going to condense some very important stuff into minimal amounts of episodes. Like we still don't have all of the backstory revealed. We don't know what happened during the actual Great Purge, because the Great Purge happened before the Scourge virus.
I will say,
like the fallout from Thaddeus becoming the betrayer, the Great Purge happened right after that, didn't it? Because they were in Civil War.
But then what they did was they did that Adam Eve special, her backstory, and that was a separate
I know.
One
you want to know what pisses me off about the Adam Eve special?
I loved it.
I absolutely loved it. It's damn near perfect. And the only thing that pisses me off is every fucking time that I watch Invincible and you're caught up on it, let's say you're a couple episodes behind, so it's going to play the next episode of Invincible right away. But if you're all the way caught up and you get to the end of Invincible, it always wants to play that fucking special every fucking time, ever since it fucking aired. Every episode that I've watched, it's like, okay, you have 10 seconds and we're going to start Adam Eve. I was like, I've already watched it twice.
This is what I'm saying. I could see them doing wait a couple of years and they do the Scourge as a special, because you're right that you don't have the backstory.
You saw the Scourge.
The Purge, but it doesn't really pertain to anything in the main story.
I know, but I'm curious.
That's what I'm saying. It's more of a just morsel,
how did it just be okay, fight, somebody wins, other person dies. Fight, somebody wins, other person dies. We cut the population in half by having everybody fight each other.
I can't tell you, because I have a feeling.
Wait, it's revealed in the comics what happens in the Purge?
Yeah, it's a one-shot, like Adam Eve. And I didn't think they were going to do one-shot comics, but when they did Adam Eve, I go, oh. And so they're mentioning the Purge. I think they're going to do it as a special, like Adam Eve, where it'll be, this is an hour-long special on the Purge. This is an hour-long special on Thaddeus's betrayal. You know what I mean? I could see them doing little one-offs where they explain these things.
Why haven't they done more one-offs? Why is there only an Adam Eve special?
Dude, and this is my thing. I was talking to Bitchy about this. The voice actors and the animation, dude, Amazon is spending some serious fucking money. And I'm glad. They should get rid of Rings of Power and just focus on this show, because Rings of Power is the most expensive, shitty fucking piece of garbage show that they have on Amazon. And just focus on this, because the animation and that voice acting talent, takes so much fucking money.
Amazon focuses on anything.
Just for this season is.
I don't think that Amazon focuses on anything, guy. I don't think they are actually necessarily in charge of the making of the show, because how could they be in charge of so many goddamn shows, especially ones that are so blockbusters?
But they're funding the money. I'm saying.
They're doing Lord of the Rings. They're doing The Boys. They're doing Invincible. They're doing Reacher. They were doing Jack Ryan. That's over now, right?
Yep.
So they were doing all of these shows all at the same time. These are 5 big budget shows. Rings of Power is obviously a bigger budget than the rest of them, but they're all big budget shows. And now they're going to be next. Well, they already started making it. The new Stargate. You think that's not going to be a big budget?
Dude, I'm so excited because, yes. Remember when I was showing you The Expanse? We got to finish watching that, by the way. When you go from The Expanse, I think it's seasons 1 and 2, and then go into 3 when Amazon picked it up, the quality jump from seasons 2 to 3 is like a completely fucking different show. You're like, holy fucking shit, things look glossier, and that they got more high-end actors coming in. It's fucking nuts, which is why I was excited when we had Halo, right? Here's the thing about Halo, like it or hate it, the fucking look of the show, 10 out of 10.
Great.
Oh yeah, it looked fucking spectacular. Like, nailed everything. Everything I thought was supposed to look how it looks in the game, 10 out of 10. But like you said, and this is my biggest issue with like Netflix, Paramount, Disney, whoever, right? You still have to hire people who care about what they're making.
I mean, that's why when I watch those interviews or the podcasts or whatever for Daredevil, and they're interviewing the two writers, and they're like,
I was comfortable.
What do you want to do to put your stamp on an episode? And they're like, what do you mean put, like, I would never put my stamp on an episode at the expense of the story. Like, they were like, it's exclusively about the story. And I was like, ooh, I feel very confident about this.
That's what I'm saying. I'm giving it a 6, but I feel comfortable because I feel like I'm starting off at a low spot to where I could justify those higher marks. And
dude, well, I mean, like 6 is somewhere between like okay and good. Like,
yeah,
that's what a 6 is.
And really, for me, it's an okay episode. It's all right, but I feel strongly, based on all of the interviews we watched and even watching the episode itself, that I'm still gonna enjoy this season, and it's gonna be a motherfucker making a tier list, because like, I still am optimistic and looking forward to the next week. I'm excited. I'm excited for both Daredevil. And here's, to wrap everything up. Both Invincible and Daredevil, to me, are some of the best television that's running right now. And honestly, it makes me excited because we're also got to throw the boys in here, and it's the final season, and them trailers, those fucking trailers for the boys, man.
Yeah, but don't you already know what happens in the boys?
It's not the same. This is going to be a totally unique ending.
Isn't it the same guy who does? Isn't Eric Kripke do Invincible and the boys?
No, Robert Kirkman, who wrote.
Sorry.
Yeah, Kripke. Now here's the thing, though.
What's his other show then?
Kripke did Supernatural, and
okay.
And so here's the thing that I want to tell people right now, because I didn't like the last season either, but Eric Kripke made one of the best endings before the WB destroyed it. He ended, for me, Supernatural ended at season 5, and it was a perfect ending. Everything after that was just them milking it. Eric Kripke is very good at endings and wrapping things up. So while I didn't like season 4, I am still super excited because Anthony Starr is still fucking great. Dude who plays Butcher is a fucking national treasure. I am excited because of the fact
I've seen new pictures of Annie January, because you know how everybody was like, "Oh my God, you did all this plastic surgery and now you look terrible compared to how you used to look."
Yeah.
Well, apparently all of the plastic surgery has finally settled and she's hot again.
And like, here's the thing, though. I am excited because it's a rare case where I actually hate the source material ending. And so the show's
ending... about the boys or Invincible?
The boys.
Oh, okay.
So the show's ending could actually retroactively, and even the original creator who made the boys, it worked with Eric Kripke, so, and he's good at ending shows. So I'm really excited to see his ending, and I think it will actually retroactively make the comic better, because certain parts of the ending are good, but it's just not a very good ending, and it's very fucking depressing. I hated it. It was bad. So I am very, but I don't want them to do a thing where they don't kill people, because they have the spinoff going on. Like, there's 2 people that I could see living, but I want to see the rest of the cast die because it's got to have some weight. Like, Homelander's got to kill some people to give it that oomph. But the thing about Eric Kripke, he is not afraid to kill main characters. He did it in Supernatural. He fucking killed Sam Dean. Or no, he killed Sam. And he gave
what
Dean
main characters have they killed off in The Boys?
None.
None
really, yeah. So,
because, and I mean,
they've killed some characters who have been in it.
Killed off some important characters, but I would not. To me, the main characters, because if you really want to narrow it down, there's 2 main characters:
Butcher and Homelander.
I was going to say Butcher and Huey.
I mean, Huey is important. I kind of like to see what they did in the comics.
I think in reality, Huey might be the most important from the perspective that we get to see as viewers.
Okay, so in the comics,
we wouldn't be
kills Butcher, and I think I would still like to see that play out. I just didn't like how they set it up in the comics, because in the comics they were all on V, and Butcher kills Homelander with a baseball bat, and then he kills the rest of the boys, and Huey tackles him out of a window, and then he beats the shit out of Butcher and he kills him. And Butcher's like, "Oi, I'm glad if it was anybody, it was you, Huey. I always knew it was going to be you that killed me." Like, and then Huey ends up with Starlight. And that's how they end the comics. Now,
I have a comic-related question. How many issues are there of Invincible?
I can't give you a figure because I have the 2 giant compendiums. There's a lot.
Yeah, but it should give you a number.
There's a lot.
See what the AI says. Issues of Invincible are there? The Invincible comic book series consists of 144 issues.
I know, too, there's a couple of side issues as well. They're like little side stories they don't consider the main run.
Collectible editions. The full 144 issue run is collectible in 25 trade paperbacks, 12 hardcover ultimate collectors or collections, or 3 compendium volumes.
I have the 3 compendiums.
Okay. So there are additional spin-off series that exist within the same universe, such as Adam Eve, and Rexplode, Guarding the Globe, and Invincible Universe. Okay, so yours comes in the compendium, so we'll just use that. So I assume, are they all relatively the same length?
Yeah. Give or take. Some are longer, like the 100 issue is.
No, I'm saying like if you're looking at a cross section of the book, like there's the same number of pages in all 3 compendiums, roughly?
Yeah, pretty much.
Okay, so where are we at in the story in your compendiums?
Past the first one, this much into the second.
Right, that's what I'm saying, is we're on season 4 and they're only going to go to season 7 and we have to pack in the more important stuff in less amount of time.
It doesn't work that way because I've seen them cover 2 arcs in 1 episode. So,
and I know that's what I'm afraid of, Guy. That's exactly what I'm afraid of.
What I'm saying is, as somebody who reads the comics, the rate they're adapting and the things they're putting in, it still balances out. Do you get what I'm saying? Like you're not losing.
No, guy, I'm just looking at the numbers. I'm just looking at the numbers. They said they're not going past season 7, which means that we are at the halfway point of the series right now.
No, they didn't say they're not going past season 7. They ideally want 9, but they're saying they could comfortably.
Well, if they go to 9, then I would say that we're on track. But if you're moving the number around of how many seasons there's going to be, then yeah, if you give it 2 more
Okay,
seasons,
so here's the
then
thing,
we
and this
might
is the last
actually be
report.
behind.
This is the last report, and this is important to anybody who watches this video. According to what Kirkman is saying,
We're at 3.5
in an interview, Amazon is the big contributor, and they're looking at numbers. And Invincible season 3, unfortunately, did not have very good numbers because of the length that they had to wait, and some people were disappointed with the animation and things like that. So it's important that if you like the show, you continue watching the show. We are recommending it. He gave this episode an 8. I gave it a 10. The point is, if you split the difference, give it like an 8.5 or a 9. This is a great show. We love it. And if you want to see more seasons and you want to see them make a full run that gets everything they possibly can, watch the fucking show. Because this is a good show, and people bitch about good television. If you want them to make quality television with great animations and great voice acting and good story, then
you gotta watch Daredevil
and Invincible.
Animation. Sorry.
You don't have to be exclusive. That's the great thing about streaming, right, PB? You can fucking click on Daredevil, and then right afterwards.
Depends on what you mean. Like, the poor people only have one service, so whichever service you have, watch this show. If you only have HBO Max, watch Creature Commandos.
And if you can, fucking find it. The internet's a great place.
Oh yeah, I'm not opposed to going sailing.
Go on the high seas. Support the show is what we're saying.
Do a little putting around Yemen.
Here's the thing.
Or Somalia. My bad. Somalia. I don't want to. Sorry, Yemen. Don't blow me up.
Here's the thing. If you want good quality, and people are bitching about this all the time, you need to show people at these levels that, like these execs, that there is an interest in this kind of television. Otherwise, you're going to get shit like Netflix. So let me put this in perspective.
Dude, I always wondered, like, for this streaming kind of stuff or like YouTube or anything, how many views are they getting from dogs? Like, somebody turned the TV on for their dog, and their dog is like listening, and like, dog's like, yeah, Invincible. Woof.
That's what it's
I don't know. I don't know if they account for that kind of stuff, because there are a lot of people that turn the TV on for their animals, and it's on something.
I'm saying, though, if you're going to turn your TV on, put on Invincible. Your dog will love it.
Oh, I would say so. I mean, it's a lot of outside of the explosions. Like, you don't hear a lot of explosions in regular life in America. This is not Iran, so whatever. There's a lot of real life noises in the show, because I mean, for as much action as there's a fair amount of talking in Invincible.
Oh yeah.
I mean, like when you watch the whole Nolan backstory in episode 2, like he's talking through the whole thing, and some of the stuff you don't have any sound effects for because you're just hearing his narration, and then like he stops and young Nolan fights his parents. Spoiler.
So
forgot to ran the little spoiler thing along the bottom. Whoops.
Oh, yeah. Well, if you're watching,
turn it on now.
Show. Obviously, if you're watching a review on this, we're spoiling it because we can't tell you how amazing or pissed off we are without sharing some kind of details about the show.
Don't you love the background?
Yes, dude. Great thumbnail. I think we crushed this. Anyways,
thank you, Gemini.
Thank you for watching this. I'm gonna get going because I'm fairly intoxicated through today's events. And yeah, I gotta go and fucking lay down on my couch and fuck. What am I gonna watch? I don't know. Invincible and Daredevil are done. I gotta watch something else.
Oh, what new thing? I don't I don't know what else is brand new. I mean, are you up to date on Memory of a Killer?
No, I gotta go. Maybe I'll watch that.
I would watch that one.
Yeah, I am behind on those episodes, but once again, my list for this year is going to suck because that's a great show too. Dude, I think the movie.
I only started watching it because it had Patrick Dempsey in it. I was like, I like Patrick Dempsey. He's good in a lot of stuff that I've enjoyed his acting in. So I was like, sure. And it's Patrick Dempsey being a hitman. I was like, I don't really picture Patrick Dempsey being all that physical, right? Because like when you think hitman, you think, what is it, Timothy Oliphant, right?
Yeah, or Michael Fassbender or anybody else.
Right. Like so I was like, okay. And then I watched the show and I was like, fuck, this show is way better. Like I was expecting it to be good, but it's way better than I was expecting it to be. I was like, this show is freaking spectacular. How the hell is it on Fox?
Dude, I swear to God, if Fox cancels this show, because you know how they are, they cancel.
The only thing that would change if the show was on some streaming network that has adult shows, right? I don't think they would change anything in the show other than they would add a random swear word here and there. Like when people are reacting to stuff, you get that singular fuck.
But other than that, yeah, the violence, the brutality, like I was shocked. I was like, God, man, they're really going for it.
Like I don't need to see the guy break his arm and it stick through the skin. And was that in Invincible or was that in Daredevil? I think that was in Daredevil.
Daredevil.
Oh man, those fight scenes! I can't believe that you're only having sex with the fight scenes. Like the fight scenes were very realistic for a regular, highly trained man going against cops.
Oh yeah,
like cops are trained, but they ain't trained like Daredevil.
And oh my God, like I was like, okay, Daredevil doesn't kill people, but Jesus, like, do you really want to live after you meet Daredevil?
Okay, I know you wanted to end the stream or whatever, but do you remember when we were talking about season 1 of Daredevil and we're like, oh, he has to choose between being the hero or being the anti-hero because you can either save the person or you can kill the other person. Like, remember that choice?
Yep.
I thought that was exactly what was going to happen with the heart attack scene with Cherry at the end. I was like, oh, he's got to choose to save, like, he's got to get Cherry out of here or else he's going to fucking die. And I was like, oh, no, we're going down a completely different path here and we're using it as a distraction. Oh, okay. Yep. That was unexpected.
And to me, because that was
I was not expecting that. I didn't think that we were going to go down this path. But
and that was my main.
I don't degrade a show because I didn't get what I expected.
And remember, our main complaint was we felt like the choice was taken out of his hands a lot of the time, like they gave him an out. Right. Whereas this made more, and that's another positive of mine. This was made more sense because it distracted him as it would.
So as the fight was going on, and like when he takes that first big hit because he's like, "Oh shit, Cherry's dying." I was like, "Okay," like I was like, "They got to rip the mask off." Like, you got to rip the mask off because that's the whole thing. You got to figure out who the fuck this guy is. I was like, "Yeah, but they can't rip the mask off because then they're gonna know who the fuck this guy is." Like, how is the show gonna work? I was like, and then they start ripping the mask off, and I was like, "Holy shit, they're actually gonna do it. They're not gonna like." Cop out and be like, we were saving the reveal for Fisk. It's like,
but
okay.
Fisk already knows.
The mask off, and then you see his face, and I was like, holy shit, holy shit, holy shit, holy shit. And then, and I was like, oh, that reminded me of all of the bodyguards that died in Invincible.
Yep.
Like, we're doing the same scene, just set up differently, which worked great. I thought that was spectacular.
And this is what I'm saying, like, that's why I rate this episode low, but I'm not down on the show. I just think it was a very underwhelming beginning for me. But I'm still excited and I'm intrigued and I'm pissed that the episode stopped. I thought we were going to get 1, 2, and 3. That pissed me off even more because I'm like, why are you doing 2 and 3 next week?
No, it's right. I agree that it's weird that you're like, we're going to give you 1. But next week, we're going to give you 2.
And 3. They're going to do 2 and 3 next week.
No, I'm saying they gave 1 episode, and next week they're going to give 2 episodes.
Yeah, that's Disney. Stop it. Release shit like anybody else. Why do you
They're
do
doing
this?
okay. So I looked it up on my TV Time app because it tells you when the shows are coming out or whatever. Mall Shadow Lord is having the first 2 episodes released right away.
So why?
And I think, if I remember correctly, that one they're going to do 2 episodes every week.
Why did they do this? And they're doing
No,
the
my
exact
real question is if they're doing 2 episodes every week, like we're going to give you 2, 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 and I think there's supposed to be 10 episodes in that show, so you got 5 weeks worth. Okay, why are they 2 episodes? Why are they not just 1 episode, like 5 episodes long? You know what I mean? Like, what is the point of differentiating between the episodes? I don't understand that type of stuff. I mean, I understand it like the way that they do it in The Boys, or even the way that they did it in Andor, that they're like, Andor could have released all 3 episodes together and you watch all 3 because it's an arc.
Yeah.
And like The Boys, every season, they give you the first 3 episodes right away because you need all 3 episodes so that you're just not like, why does the story end there? That doesn't. But you can watch like dipping out in between episodes to go and do something isn't as egregious of pausing it right in the middle when something's popping off.
That's my.
Like, Kiwi's fucked up and Starlight's here and A-Train just showed up. Pause.
And that's what I'm saying. Like, Disney's release model is so.
It's so erratic.
It's so, perfect. It's erratic.
I mean, maybe that's intentional because they're trying to figure out the way that, I don't know if you necessarily get if they're exclusively looking at the numbers, because they obviously got to be looking at the numbers on the other side, like exposure that they're getting from people like us talking about it, or fucking Collider writing an article. Oh.
Yeah. Because they're not looking at our channel. Like, I don't know.
They got to be looking at stuff other than exclusively the number of watch hours, because the watch hours don't necessarily mean anything for, I guess I'll say, people like us that are paying for no ads. Like, I feel like it's far more lucrative for Disney to be like, hey, we're going to charge you less, but we're going to make more on the net off of the ads that we're being paid for than just straight up charging you for no ads. Because I'm pretty sure, and I could be wrong, that all of the major ones, considering Hulu is not a major one because it got absorbed into Disney now, all of the major ones were all ad-free at the start. The only one I remember having ads at the start on the free plan, which it was free, was Hulu. Like, when Hulu started, it was free. All you had to do was sign up, put your email in, whatever, so that they are like, this is a person who's watching stuff. And then you watch an episode of Stargate and you get 1 30-second ad at the beginning. That was it. That's less than what you get on what we got for Paramount. Paramount gives you 45-second ad the whole time.
Yeah, see, that's what I'm saying. I am very, like,
so maybe Disney is experimenting.
They need to figure it out. Get your shit together, Disney.
And then it also comes down to how the actual show's going to go. Because if, like, we're getting a mini 2-episode arc with every 2 episodes of Maul, like, I can understand why you release 2 episodes at a time. But if it's just like 2 episodes that lead into 2 more episodes, that lead into 2 more episodes, be like, what is up with the structure here?
And that's my issue.
And I wonder if they take into account the length of episode, like if an episode's going to be extra long. Like, I told you last night before when we were talking, and I was like, oh, well, Invincible is going to be less than an hour. And it was like 54 minutes. I was like,
I barely, saw that. Just barely. Motherfucker. Dude, Invincible was longer than Daredevil.
Oh, for sure.
And I was like,
which is weird because it's just like a middle of the season episode compared to a season premiere. And Like, yeah, Daredevil, at least this incarnation of Daredevil, is not meant to be an hour-long show. Like when you think Game of Thrones, you're like, oh, Game of Thrones is an hour. It's an hour.
Well, even on Netflix, it wasn't. They're not hour-long episodes. They're 45, and then like the
No,
end.
when I was looking on Netflix, yeah, it ranges from like 45 to 55. They're all under an hour, but some are close.
Somewhere, yeah, in that. I think
Whereas this Daredevil is usually under 40 minutes.
Season 3, that final was just about an hour, and that was like the last ever aired episode. So I can understand why it was so long, because they knew it was the season.
I mean, if we go back and look at the previous seasons of Invincible, I feel like a long episode for Invincible was 40 minutes. Like, you'd see 38 minutes, and you're like, oh, we're getting a good one. And then you see the next week, and you're like, 26. We haven't got time to start. And now they're doing fucking 50 plus minutes? Like, that's crazy. And apparently the next few coming up is supposed to be extra long, too. So that's what I'm saying. They might be able to get through some stuff. If you're telling me that Nolan showing up on Earth is like 38% of the way through the story.
And I think that might be another thing we're not taking into account too. They might be like, hey, we'll give you guys extra time because people are liking this. They're giving them extra time an episode. Then yeah, in an hour you can get through a good amount of a couple of chapters of a comic. Easy. Especially if they're picking and choosing and slicing things that are like, you know, certain things that aren't really needed or don't pertain to the main story. Then yeah, easily like a 50-minute episode, you can get through tons of the material super quick. So that's what I mean. Like but I have more faith in the Amazon model than I do with the Disney model. And like I said, I think just releasing one episode this week really hurts the pacing and what they're intending for the show. But I like the direction, I will say. And I am curious. So a 6 for me isn't bad. It's just maybe my expectations were a little higher. I had the season 1 from the first premiere. I might have just, you know, put myself a little bit up on a higher scale, and I overhyped it in my mind. That's totally possible. And maybe, like I said, we look back at this, we do a couple of videos later when we do our season review, and I go, you know what? I'm going to bump up. We've done that when we did season reviews. I go, you know what? I got the whole season. I'm going to bump this up from like a 6 to a 6.5 or a 7, you know, and we bring the average up, because now that I have the full picture.
Right. Now that you have the full picture, you're able to feel all of the emotional weight.
Jesus Christ. And on that note, let's get the fuck out of here, because I got to. And now my lovely lady is talking about getting on an elliptical.
Oh, there you go.
I don't even know where the fuck we're going to put it in our house. Anyways,
you put it on the floor.
Third world problems.
You put it on the floor in your house. That's where everyone puts their elliptical.
I'm a Kryptonian. I want mine on the roof so I can fly up there.
I don't think that. Oh, okay.
You know, I get more of a workout. Anyways, that isn't the point. Thank you, everybody, for watching. We really enjoyed doing this. We will be reviewing every single episode as they premiere and giving you guys a play-by-play, because we really like these shows. And don't miss it. There's so many other good things. And I will have a review up for the brand new Ready or Not 2, Here I Come, which just came out. I will have my review up soon on that. And I'm going to say I'm going against the grain once again this year. A lot of people were underwhelmed. I personally thought it was as good, almost, not quite, but almost better than the original. So I look forward to giving my review on it. And it's mainly because I love Sarah Michelle Gellar. And please divorce Freddie Prinze Jr. I'm still available. Someone's going to come in and be like, what? If you guys know me and my channel, I've had a torch for Sarah Michelle Gellar for years. She is in Ready or Not 2, and it is fucking epic. There is an epic scene in there that automatically made the movie a fucking 10 when I saw it.
No spoilers, dickhead.
Yeah, Elijah Woods is in it. There's a big star-studded cast, and the person they get to play Samara Weaving's sister, they have such a good chemistry back and forth. It's like what I pictured her sister would be like when they mentioned she had other people. So I really enjoyed the film a lot better than fucking Scream 7. I'll tell you that much. Jesus fucking Christ. Maybe it's because I saw Scream 7 and I saw Ready or Not 2, and I was like, it's not even fucking close, dude. Oh my God. Scream 7, that's definitely on my, when I started my top 10 worst list, I said, okay, The Strangers Chapter 3 is definitely on there, but surprisingly, I'm probably going to put it on the lower end because I had a fun time with it. Scream, I did not, and Perp argued with me in the review, and I said, I don't get how you think this movie could be good. It is bad in every fucking conceivable. Have you ever watched, PB? Have you ever watched a movie and you're giving it a pass because you're waiting for the ending? Because, you know, like the movie is pretty much make or break based on the killer reveal, you know, the mystery. And then you get to the mystery and you find it out, and it's so bafflingly fucking stupid that it ruins everything else. Like, you could have a great shot movie, things are going great, there's cool actors and characters, and then you get to the last 10 minutes and you're like, this just ruined every fucking thing for me in this movie. The last 10 minutes are the worst last 10 minutes I've ever seen in a movie. I've never seen a movie fall off the cliff.
What was the last one that did that to me? I feel like, is that what happens in Halloween Ends?
Yeah, I think we had this. Yeah, I think we agree.
I feel like that's the last big one in my mind where I was like, what in the fuck happened? Like, you reboot, or you not rebooted it, but you continued on the story, right? And I was like, oh, Halloween. I was like, oh, it was really good. Like, I enjoyed it thoroughly, which was interesting because I had watched Halloween Kills first, and Halloween Kills was fucking spectacular. I was like, this movie, like, this is what I want from my fucking Michael Myers. This is fucking spectacular. And then I went back and watched the Halloween that precedes it by, what, 2 years or something like that when it was made. And I was like, oh, I remember in the second movie, it starts off with him being a fire. I was like, how in the fuck are we ever going to get to that fire? Like, we're never going to make it to that fire. Like, I'm watching the movie. I was like, how do we get to this fucking fire? And then the movie plays out at the end, and I was like, I knew he ended up in a fire, and this was still fucking great. And then we got to the third movie, and both of us were like, what happened?
Yeah, and I remember we were like, we weren't as down as
everybody. The Godfather 3.
We got comments. We got so many comments about how we were wrong, and we were defending it. And then we get to the last 10 minutes, and we're like, yep, this ruins it. Like, how does this? And okay, so picture that, but with at least with Halloween, you and me, I feel like didn't have those expectations. I've been a Scream fan since I saw the first Scream movie with my father.
I feel like I tapped out at number 3.
I started with 1. I saw the original with Drew Barrymore in the fucking theaters with my father, and I've been watching them ever since. So when I tell you, I am like the diehard fan. I can forgive a lot. I've forgiven a lot in this series. But something so dumb happens in the last 10 minutes of this movie. I almost want to do a watch along with you. So you, as somebody who has no attachment, can either verify what I'm saying or go, no, you're crazy. But I feel like you and me, especially with horror, we're on that same wavelength where you're going to get to the last 10 minutes and question how any of it makes sense, because the killers that they have, 1, are super fucking obvious, and 2, when they explain, I think what really baffled me was the motive. When they say the motive, PB, when I tell you it is the most convoluted, nonsensical motive I've ever heard, and I'm talking about in Scream 3, they gave the old I'm your long lost brother that you never knew about. Okay. And that is a stretch. But this is so bafflingly fucking stupid. Even my daughter, my younger daughter, looked at me and said, Dad, that was stupid. And I said, I'm so sorry to her, because we came out of the theater. Even people leaving, where I heard them whispering and they were like, that doesn't make any sense. Like, it, oh my God, it just doesn't make any fucking sense. It was so, it was like one of those things where they made the movie and they got to the end and they said, oh shit, we don't have a reason why. And now I heard reports, and now it makes sense why this ending is so fucking stupid. Originally, they had shot that our boy Matthew Lillard, the fucking man himself, he was supposed to be the killer in this new Scream. He was supposed to come back, but they played it for test audiences, and some people didn't like it. And, you know, I said to myself, what as stupid as the ending they chose was, I would have been far more forgiving for the really unlikely version than what we got, because it was so bad. It was like they had no ending and they just threw it together in a day. And they said it's going to be this person for this convoluted, stupid fucking reason.
Okay, this has got to be a different stream, guy.
I got to do a Scream 7 stream where I did one already, and people agreed with my review, but I feel like I got to do another one because it's one of those movies that's so bafflingly bad to me that I got to talk about it multiple times, like Captain Marvel. It just got me in this place where I was with Captain Marvel, where I'm like, how do you guys like this? Why are you giving this money? I don't
because
get it.
It came out in between Infinity War and Endgame, and I thought it was crucial to the story.
Why for Scream? I don't understand why the standard. Anyways, thank you everybody for watching. Long story short, don't watch Scream. Watch Daredevil and Invincible. You'll have a better time. You'll lose less hair, and you won't have dumb choices. Just maybe little things like, and don't believe what people tell you. Daredevil did not sink a boat.
It didn't even technically think about.
It was scuttled. And it wasn't by Daredevil. So he just beat up a lot of people. That's it. Anyways, thank you for watching. And as always, remember, there is only one rule here in the Phantom Zone: kneel before
Thrag. No general, just Thrag.